Welcome back, Golan-Globus. No, you did not just plug in a random Sega Genesis hooked up to a TV, and those are the bountiful noises of Toe Jam and Earl or something.
I thought that was somebody was playing a repeat of a Seinfeld episode.
Could have been that. It could have been that Seinfeld AI Twitch show. That sounds something straight out of there. Like, there is a man we're going to be talking about. If you're new to this fucking show, you're going to have to endure some deep diving to begin this episode before we talk about the movie. And John Rad.
Well, we after if you've never even heard a movie, after you've listened to an episode, you're an expert on the movie.
Exactly. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Professor Golan-Globus.
Especially this month, we're here to expose some misunderstood geniuses, and we got a misunderstood genius today.
Oh my God.
John S. Rad. Born Jahangir Salahi from Iran. We thought that only Amir Shervan, he was the only amazing Iranian, but apparently Iran is a hotbed for quality filmmaking.
He did a good job of getting his movie out there, getting his name out there. When I searched for him,
because of the rampant anti-Iranian racism of the 80s, Ayatollah Assahollah, he had to change his name to John S. Rad.
Right. He had to take on a whole new identity in America.
Right. He became the Persian John Waters.
That's right.
Look-wise.
Look this man up. You can find the video of him. There's audio of him talking, along with the video of him talking as well.
Yeah.
It's incredible how they combined audio and video.
Amazing.
It's just, we never get to hear much from these legends outside of Tommy Wiseau.
Because they're not respected. That's our job, is to expose you. All you people out there, you're probably not even listening to this episode, who are just like, just give me the Seagals and the Van Dams. No. Anybody can do that.
Right.
Any low-rent, shitty-ass action podcast can do that.
Right.
Can pander to you.
Spend 5 minutes saying
it's about education as well as entertainment. And we're educating you this month on some people you might not know about, but you need to know about. And no, Tommy Wiseau isn't going to come up this month, all right? Because Tommy Wiseau is the normie good, bad director.
Right.
Everybody knows that guy. Everything's been said about that guy. Fuck Tommy Wiseau.
I mean, he got to the point where Seth Rogen took him under his wing.
I can't shit on him too much because Seth Rogen's the only celebrity that ever liked any of my tweets. So I can't shit too much.
Such a weird thing that he liked some of our tweets.
Well, just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It blew up. That was the only time my only flirtation with going viral.
Right.
Was that one tweet. And it's been downhill ever since.
That one flicker of hope. You've had a couple of other close encounters.
But this was like in the thousands, which is rare for me.
And now Twitter is a hotbed of disaster.
Yeah,
it's a hotbed of disaster.
It's total shit.
Very much like the Iran that John S. Rad ran away from.
Yes, he left, like most people, like the Iron Sheik did after the Shah was overthrown by the Ayatollah.
Right.
And that's when Iran went in the toilet.
What's the parallels with wrestling world at this time? Who do we got coming in? Is Iron Sheik a bad guy at this point?
Yeah, he's probably left the AWA and is entering into the WWF.
Right.
Became champ. And then Hulk Hogan defeated him.
Right. Took the magic right out of his boots. His little curly-toed boots. Did the camel clutch.
Fucked him in the ass, made him humble.
That's right. Murray, now we do have some great friends who, I believe this movie was recommended to us by one of our friends about a year ago.
Might have been. I know Abra helped me out with, we're doing it now because I'd watched the movie. You had watched the movie. We both, because it's such a bland title.
Yes. It's a Steven Seagal title.
Exactly. It's the plural version of a Steven Seagal. Even Steven Seagal's world, he's only a dangerous man.
Exactly.
There's no one more dangerous.
Exactly.
But John S. Rad is telling us all men are dangerous. All men are sexual predators.
Right.
And we learn, and he's a father of a daughter, which we'll get into later.
Okay.
So yes, he probably made this as a teaching lesson to his daughter. All men are sexual predators. All men will try to rape you.
Be careful.
Be prepared.
Learn how to clench a knife.
In your butt cheeks. A butt sheath is what they call that, which we'll get into later.
I love how he turned it on its head. It's very ahead of his time, story-wise, where we'll get to that in a second. But our dear friends, they recommend these great movies to us from time to time.
Yeah.
And, Abra did suggest a couple movies because she pointed out the Criterion was doing the post-apocalyptic. 6 different Golan-Globus movies we've covered on this show.
Yeah, we did. Not Golan-Globus, the company.
Yeah, my bad.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so...
of course, we're the tastemakers of the world. What we say, Criterion listens.
Exactly.
You guys don't. Where you been at? Zardoz? Come on.
Right. So, one of the movies that Abra had mentioned was Bed Sitting Room. Have you ever seen this movie?
Bed Sitting Room, no.
I don't know if you're into wacky late 60s, early 70s British, satire comedy
Usually
type shit.
not, but...
Yeah, as I was watching it, I loved it. It was a very cool take on the post-apocalyptic world, but it was also very British and silly. So I don't know if it'd be your thing. It's not an action movie.
Yeah, I'm not a Monty Python guy. Would he say you got to be like in that realm?
It's not that weird where it's trying to be fun. I don't know. I don't think you would enjoy it very much.
You're probably right.
Yeah. But I fucking loved it. I completely forgot the Red Wings were playing that night because I was so into this movie.
Oh, I thought you forgot because they're not that good.
Oh, no. They're very average, unlike our Detroit Pistons.
Well, they're monumentally bad.
Exactly. Someone
record-breaking bad.
Someone went through, and they are officially, by win percentage, the worst team in the last, 70 years.
But not in history.
Not in history.
In the NBA, yes. In the history of sports, recorded sports, there's still one team that's worse. There was some football team, back in the 30s.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, so historically bad.
Yeah.
And
rough.
I'm glad you brought up sports because Murray.
I did not bring up sports.
People have been clamoring. Griff, you've been swinging a hot betting dick.
What, your Super Bowl predictions?
Oh, well, you know what? I got to do the whole playoff. So lock in the next 45 minutes, all Griff all the time. No.
All right, I'm taking a break here.
I came across a really funny thing that apparently the professional bettors have taken notice of.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz, when he attends a sport, whatever team he is supporting, so recently he went to see the Texas versus Washington football game.
Mm-hmm.
The teams he is supporting are 2-15.
That makes perfect sense.
So the curse of Ted Cruz.
He's a schlep rock.
If you ever see him attending a sport, bet the other team.
By the way, I have finally recovered from my illness. Sorry if that affected anybody's listening of Death Rider and the House of Vampires.
I'm glad to hear it. You are looking great right now.
Taylor, you can't kill me. That was an assassination attempt by Taylor.
Wait a minute. What?
Yes. She had somebody, I guess, stick me with a needle, some bio.
You don't even remember being stuck with a needle?
No, I'm so tough. I don't feel that shit.
I'm so tough.
I was getting a tattoo at the time.
Oh, okay.
But,
you showed me your tattoo.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fat anime women. It says BBW.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful women. That's
Big,
my thing.
Women.
Especially anime, big, beautiful women.
If you're a big, beautiful woman with tentacles, you are right up Murray's alley.
Exactly. So that one chick from Little Mermaid, love her.
Ursula.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Creep me out, that Ursula when I was a kid.
Tay-Tay, nice shot.
I think that's
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
I think she has a song called Nice Shot, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
You were wondering why the music suddenly changed in your tattoo parlor.
Yeah, it became more bitter grapes.
Bitter grapes.
That's basically Taylor Swift's stock in trade. Bitter grapes for basic bitches.
I like it. That's a plentiful vine, though. There's so many grapes on that vine. Mm-hmm. I think she's done 1,052 songs at this point.
That's her stock in trade.
The only band,
and
more
only half
prolific.
of them she actually wrote.
Only half. Wow.
The rest are
she's
just Swedish, the Swedish songwriting teams that write all the pop music the world listens to.
Is it Swedes that are writing all of our pop music?
They did in the boy band boom of the early aughts.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, Sweden either makes death metal and black metal, like satanic metal, or bubblegum pop. There's no in between.
Wow.
They're very schizophrenic country.
Well, I would say that era of music was very dark, so I think it's just light on the outside, dark on the inside type shit, whereas death metal, obviously, it's just death all the way through and through. It's a weird place up there. They have days where you basically don't have sunlight.
Grim and frostbitten, much like Michigan's been for the past 2 months.
Whew, it's been something. The ground's frozen though, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I can take the dog out. I don't have to fucking put on galoshes to get out there. Is that that's the mud boots?
Yeah,
Galoshes,
galoshes, rain boots, galoshes.
Rain boots. Okay.
You can use them for waders.
Waders. I wear waders to go outside.
John S. Rad.
Whereas last week we had a man who's a musician first, who went into making movies. We have a man who just came out of nowhere, apparently.
He can do it all.
And
he's what's the word for 10? You can do 10 things. There's triple threat, quadruple threat, deca threat.
I would say deca threat.
Because he does it all, and he lets you know, because the only name in the credits of the beginning of this movie is John S. Rad, directed by John S. Rad, written by John S. Rad, based on a story by John S. Rad, music by John S. Rad, but he's so humble, he didn't star in it.
No.
He was like, no, I'm going to sit back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be in the background.
I got so many other fucking knobs and instruments and synths to work on and everything.
Right. I mean, and much like, this is a story of contrast to last week in that Danzig's never met a scene he didn't want to stretch out for 20 minutes.
Right.
John, quick cut, kick cut. I can't even say it. It's so quick.
So quick. Yeah, no, he had a story to tell. He had seen.
He has 2 stories to tell
Yeah.
in this one movie that's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's very Lynchian, where he's just like, I got a lot of people. I want to add like.
I don't want to give them names.
Yeah.
Our main character, who is called David, is called a police detective in the credits. Our main character.
Yes.
This was very hard to write notes for this movie because 3 guys in the very beginning look identical, and they're 3 different actors, and they're never given a name.
And then two of our main characters in this movie, well, we assume they're main characters because they were in the opening fucking scene, are never in the movie again.
Yes.
They're stand-ins for what ends up being our main characters.
We think. We don't know because, people like applaud James Cameron because he took like 3-4 years to make Titanic or something. John S. Rad, 11 years to film this movie.
11.
Started in 84, finished in 95, took another additional 10 years to put it together in post, debuted it in 2005. He paid money out of his own pocket for it to play at a theater for a week. Tragically died 2 years later, probably a broken heart, because people in 2005 couldn't understand this movie. It was beyond them.
No. This is right around the same time. The Room had come out. Everybody had Why So Fever back then. Because I think The Room was like 2004 or 5. Maybe.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure Tommy Wiseau, much undeserving of the attention he gets, forced John S. Rad out. Maybe John S. Rad killed himself, for all we know.
We know.
John S. for suicide Rad.
It could have been that.
Suicide's not rad, people.
Yeah. See, I think people are going to start worrying because this is like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. You've just been going on and on about suicide. You just can't stop bringing up suicide. Not to say you're talking like you did that one week, which we should have do again, but suicide is just at the tip of your tongue lately, Murray. Are you okay?
Ozzy Osbourne said it best, suicide solution.
Suicide? Oh, okay. It's not the solution.
That's about alcoholism, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that
It clearly says in the lyrics, it's all about drinking. Yet people are like, suicide solution? I'm not going to listen to the song. And it must be stopped. It must be banned. Yeah. It's going to cause kids to kill themselves.
Wow, so you're saying times never change?
No. People don't change. Times don't change.
Yeah. And unfortunately, John S. Rad will never change because he's dead.
He died 2 years later. Thankfully, the people at the Alamo Draft House found this hidden treasure and released it, and now it's it's never going to get the acclaim it deserves. Probably after this episode it will.
Yeah, it'll be Vinegar Syndrome by the time we're done.
Yeah.
They're probably firing up the blueprint machine right now.
And they're like $200.
Yeah.
Price point.
If they get the half-hour interview or whatever it was with John S. Rad, that might be a price I'm willing to pay because I really want to fucking know more. And you told me, okay, first of all, movie, hour 16. Beautiful time for a movie. Yeah. And like we said, 2 different movies in one.
Right.
So that is the greatest double feature ever. Mm-hmm. Also, there is YouTube for free. Go find it.
Yeah.
Very easy to find. Also, there is like a 5-minute
he's
interview.
on some kind of like local, like I'm assuming LA talk show.
Yeah.
Hosted by this super annoying Roddy Jr. looking gay guy.
Good call,
Not
Rod
all gay guys are funny, I'm learning, because this guy was getting on my fucking nerves. He's shitting on John S. Rad. Him and Sandra Bernhardt were there. Sandra Bernhardt, Flint native. We love Sandra Bernhardt.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But they brought him out, and just immediately, well, she didn't, but he immediately started shitting on John S. Rad, talking about his ear hair. Hey, he can't help it, all right? He's got hair on his ear. He could get something done with that, but he's like, hey, fuck it. I'm au naturel. I don't stand by your beauty standards, okay?
Right. Well,
I mean, like my hairy ears.
Right. Fucking God. A
And
stereotypical gay person
Yeah.
just harping on somebody's looks. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Do you want us harping on your looks? Yeah. You Roddy motherfucker.
Yeah. Really?
I think we just did it.
Yes, we did do that. Yeah, so you get a little taste of the radicalness of John S.
God,
Rad.
he's so radical. There's so many songs in this movie. Like, it's incredible.
I don't know why. First of all, I was going to say Mondo, but Funko bought them, so they probably wouldn't be cool enough. They're not ever going to do any cool shit anymore.
Funko
bought Mondo, so they're probably never going to release any of the cool shit we like anymore. It's just going to be video game music and Godzilla themes.
Hey, I like a lot of the shit they put out. I bought some of their video game music stuff.
Yeah, I don't have a problem, but I'm saying that's all they're going to do, I bet.
Okay.
Now.
It's even cooler that Eric Powell did the art for some of that shit.
Yeah.
So that's even cooler.
But, yes, the world needs the entire soundtrack of this album. I need it.
When you Google, you will find a link to SoundCloud where it says,
saw that.
Yeah.
But I want physical media. I want to touch it. I want to experience it. I want to open up the gatefold and see John S. Rad splayed out naked. And just listen to the sonic sounds.
Amazing. How many songs do you think he had in this?
At least a dozen.
In the movie. Yeah, at least a dozen. There's 3 songs on SoundCloud. That's all. Whoever whipped this up, that's all they were able to get.
Yeah, we
3.
need more.
Did you go to the website?
I did not.
His original website is still up. It is, I believe it was dangerousmenthemovie.com. But again, you can easily Google and find this. It is a time warp. It is a 90s website.
GeoCities.
Yeah, and it looks like, because he did some nice paint tracing to cut the black guy out and put him on the front cover of his website. And it's like, wait.
By the way, Griff's not being racist. This black guy has no name in the movie.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
just
sorry.
the black guy.
Yeah. He looks good. He looks the part. He's got the fucking badge. He's holding a gun.
He's got the denim sleeveless shirt. Yeah.
And
we call those vests in Michigan.
Yeah, sometimes we call them vests. But he was on the cover, but they was clearly did a trace and cut and paste type thing because you could see the white outline just behind him, and it's all jagged. Oh, everything about John S. Rad's totality towards getting this media out there is it's a journey. It's the most beautiful journey. He's right there with the guy for me. The guy who did the movie, American movie was about Mark something. I can't remember.
Yeah, this is the American. This is why when people like a certain guy running for president right now says we need to shut the borders down and no, we need to have open borders because we're not going to get movies like this with Americans. Americans are too self-aware.
Yes,
we need a foreigner who gives us art, who puts a mirror up to us and shows us he thinks we're about.
That's exactly what John S. Rad does here. Amir Shavan. See, even Reddit had great conversations about this. I saw Amir Shavan's name pop up so many times. I was like, who the fuck are these enlightened motherfuckers, and why aren't they listening to our show? Because this is all we do is talk about how great these people are, and that's what. There was another guy they threw around, Vincent Vallicini or something like that.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him.
He went on to do like The Jungle Book or something, like actual movies. But he started out doing like the sketchiest looking Steven Seagal straight to DVD movies, like 1.2 on IMDb, shit like that. So I got a couple other names that popped up that I might have to look into.
Yeah, but today you're going to look into John S. Rad. So get ready to get radicalized.
There should be quite a few different musical drops in this episode.
Yeah, there will be. I might break into song. That's how touched I was by this movie.
God damn. We get to see the shimmy slide in effect at one point. The other shimmy slide. I think John DeHart based this shimmy slide based on a scene later.
He came onto this the set in like 87 or something. Maybe he was giving him free legal advice. I think John DeHart's a lawyer.
I just mean that when I saw that scene, the thing that popped in my head was shimmy slide.
I'm not even sure what scene are you talking about.
Sharon undressing.
Oh.
Because there's a shimmy and a slide.
By the way, amazing casting, too.
Amazing.
All these people look like the kind of scummy, dangerous people I would expect to see in real life. So, are we ready to get into this?
Dude, we're so ready.
All right, everybody. Prepare to be radicalized in the right way by John S. Rad's perfection personified, Dangerous Man.
Crimes have been committed by a lone assailant, there's a high probability that that assailant is a woman.
Stay away from the bikers.
What are you, out of your fucking mind?
Don't fuck with me! I can smell cops a mile away. Now, who was that guy?
I told him to stay away from this case, damn it.
Go for it, asshole!
Boss, cops are all over the place. You tell everyone to stop them no matter what it takes! Just get out of here and leave us alone!
Dangerous Men, guaranteed it's like nothing you've seen before.
Welcome back, Gloobies! Oh my god, we're just gonna have such a fun fucking day here. We're opening up credits. What do you start about? The most romantic shot of all time. Just waves crashing. Beautiful. Really get you ready to think.
And we just see John S. Rad, John S. Rad, John S. Rad. Every credit, John S. Rad.
Right. And after we're done going through him crediting himself for 5,000 different roles, we just cut to nighttime. Got a little light hanging over a giant mansion-looking house. Looked pretty big.
We see a somewhat dangerous man. Maybe this is he's getting us in the mood, the vibe of what he's trying to tell us.
Right. He's trying to tell us about dangerous men. Here we have a shot from behind. We never see this man's face. Dark hair, dark suit, dark shoes. And we're just seeing his silhouette, from the feet down, walking.
Yes,
so you're
very Neil Brainish.
Yes.
Is the mysterious foot character from what's the fucking first one we did? Fateful Findings?
Fateful Findings, maybe?
Is that this character?
It could be. This came out the same time Brain was heavy. Brain was big in 2005.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was the year of the genius, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brainius, if you will.
I don't have a Chinese calendar to know if that's one of the years that falls under Tiger, and then every 100 years you get the year of the genius. That could have been it. Same year I graduated. Let's just point that out.
So we see this man, and we're like, oh, my God, this man looks dangerous. Is this the dangerous man of the movie?
And he's at the door, and he's not just putting a key in. He's fumbling with the knob. We're looking at this from 4,000 feet away on like a drone. They don't exist yet, so maybe a helicopter.
Maybe he invented them. I don't know.
Maybe. But we're way up there looking down on him, and he's fiddling with that door for a long time. And he finally gets in, and you see him quietly open, quietly shut. And you're like, okay, he's B&Eing this place.
Yeah.
But it clearly knows exactly where he's going and what he's doing, because he makes a beeline for the staircase.
Climbs up the staircase. We see a door. It's slightly ajar, and we see a lady in like a nightgown, sprawling, not under the covers. She's laying on top of the covers.
Mama had a hard night, so she had a few drinks, a few pills, and she's just passed out on the bed.
Well, no, it's a very like seductive pose. One leg is like
Murray.
she's laying out, and one leg's up.
You're right. Is this some of that consensual
Rape fantasy?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what it turns into. Because first, I'm like, this movie's called Dangerous Men. This guy has to be a rapist.
Exactly.
And he goes in for the kill. He goes on top of her, and then she wakes up, and we see that this is a rape fantasy, girl.
Yeah.
They're a couple. They're together. And we're like, who the fuck are these people? Like, these must be the main characters. No. After this scene, we never see these characters ever again. We're assuming they're stand-ins for the couple that we meet in the next scene. But these people are considerably older. The woman is. She's like middle-aged.
Yeah.
And the guy, like I said, every guy in the first 10 minutes of this movie looked the same.
Exactly the same.
And
eyebrows is how you have to tell them apart.
They're all eyebrows. Eyebrow acting.
So wakes up. Oh, it is you, baby. Excellent. And then he pulls out a necklace for her.
And then seamlessly from that Seinfeld music, we go into this very sensual music.
Oh, it is very good. Very sensual. Again, John DeHart must have been somewhere nearby because the 1-2
he was
of
probably
music,
doing sound or something for it.
I wonder if we can
sound, by the way, is great in this movie too.
Yeah, it is.
You can't even tell that a lot of it was done in post. It's so seamless.
I wonder if we can get the music license and make a record of John's few tracks that we got and this. Like, if I can make a double LP of all that music, that would be the fucking greatest
That would
gift
be a
to the
gold
world.
mine.
That would be, I mean,
Cha-ching is all I got to say.
we would make $4 billion, but also I'd be able to give that gift to the world.
Yeah.
The
For a
gift of-
price,
Yeah,
but yes.
for a price.
So they start kissing, and then he's I have a gift for you, my dear. And he opens like a jewelry box, and there's like a necklace or some shit in there.
Yeah,
And
it's romantic. It's not his
Yeah.
wiener.
No, there's not a severed finger in there. It's a beautiful necklace, and she's like, "Oh, this is so sweet." And then they just
We just kind of get like a wiggity waggity Scooby Doo transition, and now we're on a date with two completely different people. Who,
we're wondering, are they supposed to be the couple? We don't know. I mean, remember, this movie was made over the course of 11 years.
Yeah. So
Maybe that was Dan and Mina 11 years later. They just didn't age well.
Oh, maybe that's a good call. I like that call.
But this is where we meet our main character for the first half of the movie. Mina, 2 weeks in a row. We have characters. We had Mina Bell last week.
Yep.
We got Mina this week. Very strange name.
Who's got the better range?
Obviously, Mina from this movie.
She also had a face that you could look at.
Human. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks like a person. That looks like an alien.
I don't know if you remember the Aqua Teen episode where Shake goes to Guatemala to get all the surgery.
I do remember that.
That's kind of what Mina Bell reminds me of.
Yeah, that's almost every other porn star nowadays.
Yeah.
Women are losing their minds. I don't know. Anybody who have you ever seen any good plastic surgery? It's all bad.
I imagine there is.
I
but
guess
you
you
wouldn't.
don't- you don't
you wouldn't
know, yeah.
recognize it because it's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're.
But like
trying to-
people are like, give me that, and it's horrible. Like I don't want to look like.
But it's like they're trying to hide the fact that. No, or maybe they're trying.
I mean,
to
I don't
own
care. People
up.
want to get plastic surgery. I don't care. It's your life.
Yeah.
But you don't look human.
Right. It's like if you're trying to hide your face from the fact that you're a porn star, or maybe I don't know. It's insane.
It's body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's insanity. But okay, so it's like the same women who get basketball-sized tits. Like that's grotesque. That's not attractive
It makes no
at
sense.
all.
It makes no sense.
So we got a couple. They're at dinner, and they're Dan, her suitor is awkwardly trying to profess his love to her.
Right. Your love is like a deep ravine, and I'm a canoe for two, and I'm rowing across your bazoo. It's amazing.
And she responds to it. I guess she sees through it. She's like, she can see he's trying.
That's right.
And they end the night macking out on a beach.
Maybe under the table he was touching her kneecaps while he was doing all that.
Yeah, maybe. So they're making out on the beach. They're a loving couple. They love each other. Cut to a liquor store.
Sweet new music. 3 songs. We're like 10 minutes in this movie. 3
We're
songs.
like 5 minutes in this movie. I mean,
We're only 5 minutes.
It feels like. Remember, it's an hour and 20 minutes.
We're 5 paragraphs in is when we
Yeah.
get to the 14-minute mark. Yeah, you're right. Oh my god.
So there is a robbery happening. I'm like, is that Dan robbing the store so he can make money to get her a necklace?
Same thought.
Because he looked. I don't even know. I'm saying Dan because I learned his name's Dan like 5 minutes later.
Right.
I'm like, is that guy from the first scene? All look the same. All guys with like dark hair.
Yep.
Nondescript looking guys with dark hair.
Like it's always the same length too.
Same
It's
haircuts.
Like,
yeah.
It's like the same barber cut their hair before every shot.
John S. Rad probably cut their hair too. He did hair and makeup.
He wishes he had that hair because John, of course, is bald. Oh my god, it's so crazy. But anytime you're doing a movie, 70s era, 80s era, 90s era, you got to have a liquor store robbery.
Yeah.
You have to. And so this is it.
Because we are introducing our cop character. We need to show him in action.
And the way they do this is by showing a random street corner that Dan just happens to be hanging. David just happens to be there. We don't know David.
Not at all. I thought it was Dan.
I thought it was Dan too.
I thought the cop was Dan, and yet the robber was Dan.
Yes.
They look so alike.
I thought he was doing some more. Look, the first scene, 2 characters that are never seen again in the movie, followed by Mina and Dan. The second scene, a guy who's soon to be known as David, and then a guy who looks like David. Yeah. What kind of subterfuge is happening here?
Maybe
Anyway.
he's making a statement about racism because they're Asian people running the store, and the common racist saying is they all look the same to me. Now he's saying he's flipping the script, and it's like all you honkies look the same.
Holy shit, Murray! God damn!
Well, this is why he's a misunderstood genius.
I don't have to worry about my house ever being a cold again because that hot take.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to interpret the genius of John S. Rad.
That's right.
That's the point of this month.
So we got a robbery in the making. They're stealing the money, of course. We've got our lead man who looks like David. We'll call him Uzi.
Well, first we have the wife. I'm assuming the wife of the proprietor, an Asian woman. She is out back like stocking the shelves or something. She notices it.
Right.
So she's going to take shit like into her own hands. So she's like, hey, stop.
So Uzi's got a lackey. Uzi, again, has an Uzi, so that's why his name. He's got the money already, hangs it off to his lackey, and so his lackey's just like going over to check out the frosted mini wheats or something. He's just kind of fucking around in the back. And yeah, that's when wifey here.
Yeah, she's like, stop. Give me my money back. And then of course, like I said, we're playing around with stereotypes. So obviously she's Asian. She knows martial arts. So she attacks him and beats the shit out of Lackey.
Incredible. This woman does the hip toss. She does the fucking roundhouse. She drops an elbow. I saw a claw in there.
She dropped the people's elbow.
She dropped the people's elbow. And Uzi finally catches wind of what's happening because his buddy's finally calling out like, I'm in danger.
Well, Uzi did tell the shopkeeper, I'm going to be outside. And if you call the cops, I'm going to kill you.
Well, first he shoots his wife.
Shoots his wife. Great death scene. She just clutches her chest. Like we would do when we were little kids playing
Great
cops
shot
and robbers.
scene. When you think of an Uzi, what do you think of? Like what kind of rate of fire?
I think of one shot per like 5 seconds.
Yeah. One shot,
not a spray of bullets.
Not a spray of bullets,
no,
exactly.
Boom.
So you get a rifle sound effect. One bullet, protrudes from this Uzi.
One bullet's all you need.
All he needed.
Maybe he only had like 5.
Maybe. Like you said, great death scene by the wife here. Oh my God.
Clutches her chest, falls over.
Blood packets everywhere.
Blood packets nowhere. She just literally falls
you're
over.
Right. There was no blood.
And then when she's laying on the ground, there's a little blood trickling out of her
mouth. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, this is on Tubi if you want to watch.
Oh, it's on Tubi too?
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's available.
Tubi, YouTube, whatever Tubi you want to choosy. So now he's telling hey, I'll plug you just like I plugged your old lady. Give me 10 minutes, and then you can call the cops.
And that's when David, our hero, who I'm like, wait, is that the Uzi guy?
Yeah.
No, it's David.
Right.
Stop, the police. And does he just, I don't even remember what happens. Did you just shoot Uzi?
I don't remember either. I blacked out here.
Yeah.
I guess he just shot him. I imagine he did. I think he took him in.
Shoots Uzi and then captures the accomplice.
Okay.
I know that because you wrote it in the notes. So, yeah. So he's not a totally reckless cop because he only kills one of the guys, and he was standing his ground. So it's a clean kill.
Right. All right, Murray. Now we're cutting back over because we've got other stories to tell.
We're back to Dan and Mina's story.
Right.
Or I'm thinking, is this guy the cop, Dan? So I'm like, so no, Dan's the brother of David the cop.
That's right.
We learned this just now. So Mina and her father, who was about 3 years older than her, the actor,
right?
They didn't even at least in Miami Connection, they put a little talcum powder in the guy's hair that was playing the dad.
Yeah, anything. Try to age this man up.
He had a beard. That's the best they could do.
Yeah, that's all they did here. And they're coming over. This is Mina's dad.
They're very old-fashioned.
I cannot tell. Is Mina supposed to be 18, 19, 20? Still living at home?
I think so, yes.
That's what I gathered.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she's bringing this sweet new boyfriend over, or apparently they've been dating for a little while.
They've been dating for a while, yeah.
Okay. And they got to get the blessing.
Right, guys, blessing of the father. They're old-fashioned that way.
Right.
And he's just like, you have my blessing.
Again, remember, this is John coming over and learning about the American tradition of asking the father.
Well, this is a very, I would think. Well, we learn when we get to the story about his daughter, we'll learn that this is a very old-fashioned way of thinking. This isn't just American. This is very.
Oh, okay.
I would think Iranian too.
Probably.
But yes, you have to get the permission of the father before you take the daughter's hand in marriage. And he accepts. He's like, Dan is perfect. I love you two together.
That's it.
So Dan is excited. He's got to call up his brother David. David the cop.
David the cop.
So David's there. He's at a convention, apparently. I don't know.
Is that what he said?
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
He's out of town because.
Oh, right. He was on his vacation.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can extend my vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I think this takes place in L.A.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, great. I'll be there, bro.
Of course I'll be there. I'll get an extra 2 weeks off because I want to be able to help you plan out your wedding.
Right. So
I love Mina. She's my favorite.
So now we're like, all right, they're two different guys. He's Dan, he's David. Now he finally figured it out.
Right. All right. So now, next day, Dan and Mina heading out for a nice romantic cruise down the fucking California coast.
Pacific Coast Highway.
Right. You see fucking Reb and his action van going over the cliffside.
I saw the kids from Massacre at Central High frolicking naked.
That's right.
Paragliding or hang gliding, where the fuck they were doing.
I don't know the difference, yeah.
I think paragliding's when they pull it by the bow, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's your normal, regular California day.
That's right. And so they head down to the beach to just let the fucking shore, let that ocean air into their lungs. They've got so much love clogging up their vision. You got to clear it a little bit out.
Right. You
got to still stay focused on the prize at hand.
Speaking of staying focused on a prize, two middle-aged bikers, pretty much what real life bikers look like.
Yeah.
In the movies they're like young, badass, like Stone Cold.
Yeah, they go back to the 50s and that whole
now it's like your stepdad, Doug, basically. So it's like a fucking 50-year-old bald guy, fat, and his buddy's name is Scooter.
Yes.
I don't believe this guy has a name.
No.
Mina just starts calling him Tiger. So he's Tiger.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You notice that she just start like they were never introduced. She starts calling him Tiger.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
So yeah. So Scooter and Tiger's. Tiger's obviously in charge.
Right. Scooter's been complaining this whole time. Oh, we've just been riding. We need some action. We need some good fun. And they pull her on the side of the road, and Tiger leans over and goes, "Hey, I think our luck's finally about to change." And they look down, and there's our sweet couple just sitting there.
So they head down to the beach.
They wait. They're going to cut them off as they try to get back up to their vehicle.
First they're like just like sunning themselves, like Tiger and Scooter. They're just like laying on the beach.
Yeah.
And then they get up to like fuck with them. Like now's the time to fuck with them.
They said in the movie, this was a perfect idea to wait here because there's only one way back up.
By
to
the way,
vehicle.
logic in this movie seamless. John S. Rad covers all bases. So Mina and Dan are like on the beach, like on the rocks, enjoying that, and they decide, okay, it's time to get off the rocks and go back to our car. So they're walking along the beach, and this is where Scooter and Tiger make their move.
It's classic move. They're gonna do the classic high school bully thing. Hey man, your girl's pretty hot here.
Hey baby,
why did you get with the fucking hero and ditch the loser?
And Mina's like, get lost. Dan immediately, I'm going to break your fucking neck. He goes straight for it.
Well, no, fucking Mina pipes up first. She's the one like, I will take you guys out. I will own you. I will break your kneecaps. I will tear your testicles off. And then a few minutes later, Dan finally pipes up after the guys have pushed him around a little bit. What about you, little pipsqueak? What are you going to do? I'll rip your fucking neck off. I'll eat your blood. I'll chew your teeth.
I'll break your neck. Bikers just laugh it off as you would.
Right. They let Mina and Dan walk away.
Right.
And Mina's like,
false sense of security.
We should fucking run.
Yeah.
And
He's like, no. If you run, you're showing fear, and they will attack. It's like a dog. You don't run from a dog.
I was just gonna say it's like a dog. You gotta stay cool and calm in the moment. Very cool, very calm.
So that's when they pounce. So Tiger grabs Mina, takes her away to rape her, assuming. By the way,
they have a huddle.
There's a multiple attempted sexual assaults. There are no sexual assaults in this movie.
Yes.
So I'm sorry if I got someone excited last week when I alluded there was going to be sexual assaults.
I will beg to differ on that one. We'll get there. I beg to differ, though.
Okay, I don't know. I don't remember that. So he's...
Oh, actually, no, those aren't really.
Yeah. It's attempted sexual assault.
Yeah. There's a lot of ugly scenes. If this isn't your scene.
Well, this is a movie called Dangerous Men. We got to show how dangerous they are.
It's your... yeah. It weighed heavy on everybody.
The whole theme of this movie is all men deep down are sexual predators, and you must be aware of that.
And the greatest telling of this was a character we'll get to. John does a good job of setting up the range of men
Well, that's the thing.
end up being dangerous.
All men are dangerous.
Right.
It's not just bikers.
Innocent-looking men.
Right.
Rich-looking men.
Given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Any man will try to rape you.
Any man. So just fucking always be on the look.
So, yeah. So,
they catch up with them.
So,
they huddle up.
Tiger grabs.
They huddle up. All right. You get the guy. I'll fuck the woman. And then maybe I'll give you sloppy seconds. Break.
And this sounds good to me. So Tiger grabs Mina, hauls her off.
Right.
Dan immediately beats the shit out of Scooter.
Yes.
Scooter does not.
Incredible. I was like, wait, where is this movie going?
He's got Scooter pinned on the ground, strangling him.
Strangling, bashing him, ragdolling him, just fucking going to town. Dan has forgotten about his girlfriend because the bloodlust in him is being unleashed.
Kills him. Strangles Scooter to death.
Right. And he gets out one gargle, and that's what alerts Tiger, oh, my friend's dying.
No, he's like, I gotta check this out.
He slaps the shit out of Mina, who fucking sells it like Shawn Michaels over the top turnbuckle.
Goes up to Dan. That was my only friend! You killed my only friend!
Stabs him
in the gut.
Leaves him to check his friend's pulse and comes back over to kill him some more and goes, I can't kill you anymore. You're already dead. Fuck. So
Mina's distraught for about count of 3.
Yeah, Tiger's ready to leave.
Yeah.
And he starts walking off. And
He killed his boner, man, seeing his
Right.
friend die.
Right. And Mina's just like, wait, are you going to leave me here behind? I'm free now.
And then a great song just starts playing. Can we hear a little bit of that song?
I wish to live no more, my love. Goodbye, my love, goodbye.
$30 in advance.
You've never died, you've never died to me, my love.
The mood immediately changes. She's like, you're right. I need to drop that 0 and get with the hero, Tiger. She starts calling him Tiger. So, and he's like, what? Even he's like, I just killed your boyfriend.
We're fading to black, and she's going, hey, slow down. I'm trying to keep up with you here. He's trying to walk off on her. He's so distraught. Like, this is kind of interesting that it's like, yeah, they're brutal people, and they were trying to do something heinous, but it's like his friendship to this man was
It was his
so,
only friend. He said it.
Even in the biker gang, he's like, yeah, those are my gang members. This is my friend. He was so distraught. His whole intent of raping this woman is just gone. He's just like, he's changed. He's seen the light. I'm willing to believe Tiger's going to change completely.
But Mina's like, hey, where you going? I'm finally free. I want a real man.
I can't wait. I can tell there's something happening down there.
And he's like, well, how about I take you out to dinner?
So they go to, okay. It looks like they check into a hotel and they go to the hotel's restaurant.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what they do. And before, after they check in, make sure we get a wake-up call at 5 a.m.
Oh, he said that?
Yes.
What?
That plays into it later on.
Oh, interesting.
And then he's like, come on, babe, let's go get some grub. So then they go to the restaurant, and they're having a nice steak dinner.
Right, of course. They had the fucking tomato, the salad, the leafy
They had a
greens,
black Caesar salad.
Black Caesar salad.
This hotel is known for their black Caesar salad.
You see how well Tiger's treating her? Steak, black Caesar salad,
Right.
Pepsi Cola, and a beer.
We officially don't know if he was going to rape her. Maybe he was just trying to talk her into dropping that 0 and getting with this hero.
Right. Maybe
It was a misunderstanding for all we know.
it could have been a misunderstanding.
And so it's like she's playing it up because she's obviously wanting to get her revenge on this guy.
Right.
So she's a false sense of security.
The waitress walks away. She realizes this is my moment to talk where it's not awkward, where the fucking person comes in and interrupts your conversation. So she's like, Tiger, you really turned me on.
Yeah, you turned me on too. And then she goes for her plate and fumbles. Oops, clumsy me. Drops her plate. But that's a ruse so she can grab a steak knife and palm it.
Oh, I did not even
Yes.
notice the fucking... You see, I'm a big fan of Penn and Teller. I watch all their specials, and I didn't even know that. That's why that movie, The Prestige, is so good to me.
And he's like, you dumb broad. Come on, let's go back to the bedroom. Fuck. So they go back.
Yep. Mina, she announces, I've got to take a shower. I want to be as sweet as a piece of cake for you.
Piece of cake for you. Okay. And, that translation, my pussy stank, so I got to clean up. So he's like, all right, babe, I'll get undressed. So he strips down to his tighty whities.
This man, he has no shame whatsoever. He got down to those tighty whities quick.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's got nothing to show. He's a middle-aged, 50-year-old man. He's not in the worst shape, but he's not in good shape.
And he's so turned on, he pulls out the knife he stabbed Dan with and starts licking it.
You're right. He did. Oh, my God. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Mina comes out with a towel wrapped around her. And she's got some demands, Griff.
Right. Notice that she did not shower. Let's point
No,
that
she did
out.
not.
She ran.
Well, she might have taken a hooker shower and just
She might have.
the pits in the crotch. But her
she-
hair is dry.
John does a point, and we got to bring this up because, again, this is like Lynch. Why did they do this? She turns on the tub to simulate she's taking a shower. But then her hair's not wet. It's perfectly dry. It's perfectly Jerry Seinfeld at this point.
Yeah, perfectly 80s hair. Yeah.
Ugh. It's weird.
She's got a towel, and she's got some demands. She's like, sit down. Before we do anything, you got to start tickling my knees and then lick my belly button.
All right. Tickle and then lick.
Tiger's into it, man.
Yeah.
So this obviously is John S. Rad's fetish. Knee tickling, because knee molestation happens again in this movie.
Yes, knees are constantly being tickled and protruded on. It's incredible. But the other thing that we're gonna get to here, I wonder if he's projecting a bit. So we'll get there.
That's what the greatest artists do. They project their own
fears and So she walks up. Tiger agrees to it. That
was a nice job of putting the piano when he was tickling her knees.
I liked it. Yeah, he got it when he got over.
I told you, master of sound.
He got to see some cartoons. He got to understand the Foley work and how you tell the story through the music. Sometimes, because the music that is about to take place here is that opening song we use.
So he's going to town on that belly button. He's working it.
And she's loving it. And
loving it. She's disgusted. We see that this was a ruse.
We start with just the back and her tits, and it she is giving off the perception that she's loving it.
Yeah.
And then the camera slowly crawls up, and you can see her rolling her eyes, and she's so disgusted with herself. And then we work down the back of her head.
This is a great shot.
And we slowly go down
Panning
to what
down.
everybody, she said she was going to be as sweet as a cake, and we both enjoy a nice slice of cake.
Yeah, I mean, how do you cut a piece of cake, Griff?
Well, Murray, I like to use a steak knife.
So does she, because she has that knife clenched between her butt cheeks, a butt sheath, if you will.
And a very careful little edit here magics the knife back into her hand. Did you notice that cut?
And goes full Norman Bates. It's like stabbing the shit out
all
of him.
To that opening refrain, the Seinfeld boop 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 ba-doop ba-doop boop. She is stabbing. Blood is everywhere. It's coating the room. Oh my God! It's brutal.
Did you actually think I'd let you get away with killing the most important thing in my life? You're dead wrong. And then she vows to kill every man on the planet.
Whew,
every dangerous man.
So here's where I think the projection is. I think John S. Rad is terrified of being on his knees, going down on a woman.
A lot of guys are scared of going down on a woman.
I know they're scared of that.
Yeah.
Are they scared of getting stabbed in the back? Stabbed in the back while doing a great deed for somebody.
I don't know. We'll never know, because it left the world with John S. Rad.
Unless it comes up in that fucking interview documentary that supposedly exists. I need it.
Well, apparently a lot of things supposedly exist. John S.
Yeah.
Rad in an interview claimed he did many award-winning movies in Iran, and he did 2 other films in America. There's no record of any of this stuff existing.
Friends, if you got any information on this, any leads, let us know. Let Murray know, because that's really the way.
So then later in the day, she sneaks out of the hotel.
Right.
The front desk guy's like crying. He's got that 5 o'clock wake up call.
Okay.
He goes to I guess the maid, and he's like, "Hey, I've been trying to get a hold of room 1215. Can you knock on the door, see what you wake them up, because you're not picking up."
Mm-hmm.
So then she goes and checks, opens up, and we see Tiger sprawled out, bloody, dead.
Very calmly, we go back to the hotel keeper, and he calls it in. So we get some connection there.
So Mina, she doesn't know how to drive a motorcycle, so she's shit out of luck.
Right.
So she's got to hitch a ride.
Right. This is the era to be hitching, though, and when you're an attractive young woman, people are going to pick you up.
And we get a nice, respectable man, we think.
Okay. This whole scene is very interesting, too, because he's driving just like a working truck. Because trucks back then, they weren't like F-150s today.
No.
Not
people who own trucks actually did construction.
Anything that would
require a truck.
Yeah. This man is in a suit and tie. He's got the fucking perfect hair with a little bit of graying in there.
Scrawny, middle-aged man.
Salt and pepper. For a minute.
If you look up John S. Rad, that picture shows up. For a second, I thought, is that John S. Rad?
Oh,
it is not John S.
Not
Rad.
S. Okay.
Yeah.
So picks him up, and I was just like, wow.
Englishman on top of it. He's not even American.
I know. I was about to call him Tex because of the mustache, and then I'm glad I didn't. I just called him Stash in the notes Because this guy doesn't have a name.
Yeah,
We'll go and
most
figure.
people in this movie don't have
Hey,
names.
it can be John.
Even
He's
characters
about
that
to
have
be
names don't have names in the credits.
Yeah. That's what you get when you go look at IMDb.
Yeah.
I was like, how is there no names? Like,
Yeah.
and that's when
Like
I
I said,
panicked.
David is or
Yeah,
detective.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
police
panic
detective.
texted you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Is there seriously no names? How am I going to do this? Anyways.
So there's no way this guy's a dangerous man. He looks totally non-dangerous.
I mean, Mina is so...
story over with. She got her revenge. She's gonna drive her back home to Dad's place.
Right.
End of movie.
Right. She'll tell Dad. Dad will get her into therapy. She'll talk through it. She's very young, and she'll
Get
somehow,
over it, yeah.
move on. It's not about getting over it. It's about,
No,
accepting,
it is. You need to get over
moving
things.
on.
Same thing.
And
So he picks her up, and they start driving.
Right.
And she's exhausted. She just spent a whole night murdering. She might chop the body up. She's gonna try to dispose of it.
yeah, maybe.
So she falls asleep.
Right. Well, again, the John, I think, is trying to say to us, this old man, is so trusting that even Mina, who is vowed to kill all men, is so at ease, feels so safe around him that she falls asleep. And she doesn't fall asleep on the door. She leans to the middle of the truck so her head could fall on.
Because he's like a fatherly figure.
All right.
So
and he's
she's-
wearing a suit and tie.
And he's got a British accent. You can
And-
trust this guy.
And he's got a British accent. You see, even fucking Iranians who came over to America realized that women are fools for people with accents. English or American women are fools for
Yep.
people with
Said
accents.
it before, specifically English, but yes, other ones. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But so she's sleeping, and we're getting into some dream sequences. Very interesting.
Oh man! So we have like a little bit of that dad blessing them scene.
Yeah, we're like going, okay, so this is just her remembering back to Dan.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene.
Oh my God, Murray.
Dad is sitting on one of those weird, like 80s. I think
It's like
Pigeon had one of those chairs.
Yeah.
It's like how do you
It's like
describe
a
it?
bamboo chair. It's very,
Yeah.
it's just got the frame and then a couple posts in between and a cushion.
Very ridiculous because you have to lay in it. You can't like sit in it unless you're sitting on the edge.
Right, and he was, in fact, sitting awkwardly on that edge,
Reading the book, probably the Bible.
reading the index to the Bible. He's got 2 pages, open into this large hardcover
And
book.
we see Mina, 20-year-old Mina, not 5-year-old Mina,
No.
crawling across the floor, sneaking up on Dad.
John, I have so many questions. You know what? Next week, Tippy Tap, we're getting out the Ouija board and we're talking to John S. Rad live.
We'll have time because the next movie we're doing, not a lot happens.
Okay.
But she sneaks up on him and then flips the book closed and goes, meow!
Meow? Meow? What do cats say again? What? She's wearing high heels, a weird white dress, and she's got her hair done up because this is the day Dan is over. This is literally the day they asked for the blessing. At some point in this evening, Dan was somewhere. Dad was here. She gets on her knees, crawls to Dad, and then I think she says, I'm going to cook everybody dinner now.
That's the next scene. They're
next
all
scene.
sitting together, and she's like, I think I'm going to cook dinner. And like, that would be great. And then while she's doing that, Stash, the dangerous man, comes out inside him. And he's just like,
Inner monologue.
yeah, he's like,
He's going to Dune Land.
why am I not? He's trying to talk himself into raping her. He's
Yes.
just like, this doesn't happen to me regularly. An attractive woman in my car. Why aren't I raping her? And it's so bizarre because he's literally trying to talk himself into sexually assaulting this woman. He's like, she's just too hot not to fuck.
God, John projecting that you should never leave an attractive woman with any man ever.
They're always asking for it. Apparently, is what in Mustachio's mind.
Right, because she is not dressed
She's
provocatively.
causing him to be this. He's actually trying to give himself permission to rape.
Right, and so he's talking to God. He's like, "Look, God, you gave me a gift. This is He literally says, "This is a gift from God."
Gift, your big black gift.
What was that? Black shampoo?
Samurai Cop.
Oh, Samurai
Another
Cop.
great Iranian filmmaker.
Yeah, there we go.
So he drives off road. They're like out in the desert, and he drives off road.
Right.
She comes to
No,
You know-
he goes to the glove box first.
Okay, he does. I
Yeah.
thought he had it underneath.
I went-
underneath the like
Oh,
where
the
where all
visor.
Americans keep our keys.
Yeah.
I thought maybe English people keep their guns.
It could have
in
been the
their
visor too,
Yeah.
but yeah, he takes her off road. They go into the middle of nowhere. Great shot, by the way. I love seeing the scenery here. I was eating it up. Great plant culture going on here, and yeah, pulls her over. Mina's still dead asleep, even though they've been going around. Again, this is when they made trucks to traverse this kind of thing. I bet if you took a modern F-150 out there, it would fall apart and just tip over
Axle
and
would
burn up.
snap. Yeah.
Axle would snap, exactly. And so gets her out there, and I thought he went straight for a tip, but no, he grabs a gun first.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because he is an old man after all. His
Frail old man.
frail old man. And then he starts reaching under the top and trying to get some of that bosom.
She's like, and then she starts fighting with him. What about your wife and family? I thought you were decent. This has nothing to do with being decent. And he's like, you're gonna make me. And then she's like, you know what? You're right.
Whoa, Tiger, slow down. Tiger.
Why- So she's like, I'm into it, but why don't you climb over? Why don't we switch places so the steering wheel doesn't get in the way?
Come on, I'm going to do things that are incredible. You're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown off. But that's
Really? You're into me?
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, take off your clothes. So he starts taking off his clothes.
And all this time, he's got a gun shoved into her face.
yeah. He strips down to his boxers. He's the one person not wearing tighty-whities in this movie.
Yeah, and Mina doing a great job here. She's touching up his nipples and down his side.
Because he straddles her. So she's in the
Yes.
passenger seat. He's straddling her. They're face to face.
Correct.
And then she pulls out that trusty steak knife, grabs his dick.
Hey, you're not going to hold that gun to my face this whole time, are you? While we're making love. See, again, that word excuses what he's doing.
Exactly. And she's asking for it, literally.
Yeah.
So he's like, all is good.
Right. So he's like, well, where do I put it? Oh, wait, I'll throw it out the window.
No, he puts it on the dashboard.
Oh, he put it on the dash?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she whips out the knife, and because he's got the boxer shorts, they got the pee hole.
Right.
So she grabs his dick, puts a knife to it. I'll cut this thing off, you motherfucker! Oh, please don't! And then she grabs, and then she says, "Get out!" And he gets out, and then she grabs the gun off the dashboard.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, "Take off your drawers." What?
You said that. Well, I said a lot of things, but give me the shorts. Start moving fast. And she even fires a bullet off in the air to emphasize her point.
He strips naked, and she just takes off and leaves him.
So we're thinking.
He even took his socks and shoes off.
Yes,
he was
he did.
completely naked.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That is a good man. Take your socks and shoes off while having sex.
So we get, for the next 5 minutes.
You would think we're done with this character.
Yes.
You would think.
No.
I remember the first time I watched this, I look over and I'm like, oh, that was a weird scene. Wait, we're following this character? What are we doing?
Well, that's the thing. He takes you on a ride. You're like, you don't know who the main character is in this movie.
Right.
It changes from scene to scene.
It feels like a.
So I'm waiting for him to maybe get picked up by some dangerous men. And then
Yes.
he gets raped. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what? That could have been it, because it's like we don't know what John's all about. John S. Red, that is. Like, where is he at here? Why are we following him? Because obviously John is trying to tell us something. What the mind?
No one is safe from dangerous men.
Yeah, what the mind of a rapist is, because he's going around and he starts acting like a character out of room sitting bed. I can't remember the way that movie went. Because he's out there and he starts like, well, I should just go ahead and have a dance then.
Right. He's like, but make the most. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
So he's walking around. He's got a branch covering his crotch and his butt. And then he starts going, dun, 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 dun. Starts dancing. I mean, I guess.
I would have liked to know what Joe Coleman's dad thinks about this scene, because there is a lot of dick silhouette happening. He's way in the background of the shot, so it's like you can't see a lot that's happening. But other thing about John S. Rad, we see lady tits, we see lady butts, we see men butts.
We saw Lady Bush for a brief second.
That's right, we see Lady Bush. Yeah. We got all the nudity in here. This is John naked. He's telling us everything about John.
He's bearing his soul. And so the guy, he's just literally 5 minutes of this guy wandering naked out in the desert lands.
Muttering to himself. I haven't seen genius like this since, you know what? It was around the same time. Space Ghost Coast to Coast did an episode of Space Ghost crawling for 12 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that inspired that.
It might have.
Back to Mina. She pulls over. She starts crying. She starts remembering all the craziness that's happened in the past 24 hours. Stabbing fucking Tiger again.
Oh, man.
Dan being killed.
Mina's crying is awful, too. Acting.
Back to Stash.
Yeah, we're going back to Stash. We're not done with Stash's story. When we went back to him, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? And this is where he's contemplating, like, I'm a family man. Everybody depends on me.
He finally gets some regrets. He's like, you know what? She should have cut my dick off. I deserved it. He's probably the only man who's not a rapist in this movie that is like, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have done that. I got what I deserved.
Right. Yeah. So,
but then he's like, how am I going to explain this to my fucking wife and kids?
Oh.
I'm naked out in the middle of the desert.
I will just say I picked up this woman who was in distress, and she pulled a gun on me.
She was a sex maniac. She raped me. That's a great idea. Why are you saying? And he finally finds a road, and he's like, all right, perfect story,
right.
Seamless. Woman raped me. Right. Scrawny ass old guy.
Right. Well, there you go. Scrawny ass old guy, vulnerable. All right. Why has he got a gun in his car? That's a question his family should be.
Because he's in America. That's why.
That's a good point. He's a Brit in America. He heard that David Bowie song, I'm Afraid of Americans, and he said, I'm buying myself a fucking gun.
As he's finally found the perfect excuse, a van rolls up. And we're like, all right, turn around is fair play. These guys are going to rape him. That's what's going to happen.
Right. He's cheering, oh, good boys, come by, help me. The van pulls over, and they just start throwing trash at him.
And laughing at him. And then they just take
Hey, man, you fucking that bush? I don't know if you caught that. That was what the one guy said. Are you fucking that bush?
Wow, what a turn of phrase.
What a turn of phrase.
And then they just peel out, make him eat dust, take off. And then that's it. We never see Mustache again.
We promise, everybody, we're done with the stash. He got 8 minutes of screen time, and that is 7 minutes too long.
All right, now Mina returns home finally, and Dad is waiting there. She tells everything. He understands. She's like, did she ask for it? He just give her. So
what she does is she says, I need you to accept that I just need to go wherever the road takes me. All right? She's got his hand in both of her hands.
She's full Paul Kersey now. And she's like, I have a death wish.
And she's saying, I need to go out wherever the road takes me, wherever life's going to take me. Life is a highway. I'm going to ride it all night long. I just need you to accept that. And she's kissing his hand.
Yeah.
And then he pulls her in for the hug and goes, yeah, okay, you do that. Also, and we're looking at like their entertainment center, and he just goes into a drawer in the entertainment center and comes back with
her savings account card.
This is your savings account password, is what he calls it.
So it's like an ATM card, I guess.
Right.
And he hands it over to her.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, she's walking out to the sidewalk. Perfect. We see it right out of her designer jeans or Calvin Klein's. So it's like seamless. He covers all bases. And she waves to her father.
And then she just starts walking away from the camera down like the perfect suburb sidewalk. And then she gets into a little half jog that just creeps me the fuck out. I don't know why. It creeps me out.
All right. Now we're back. David, who was the brother of the murdered Dan. Well, first of all, we never hear about Dan for the rest of the movie.
Yes. We hear about him only in the perspective of David should not be investigating his brother's murder. His name is dead.
So David is talking with Officer Blackman. That's not his name. That's who he is. He's a black man who's a cop.
Okay.
Not given a name.
I gave him the name, and he's in the notes as Officer Babe, because one character he talks to, his girlfriend, of course calls him Babe. So I just call him Officer Babe.
All right. Well, Officer Babe is like, look, David, I'm going to find Mina. Because Mina still hasn't been found. I guess Dad's like not talking to the cops.
Right.
And so, okay, that's the end of that. Mina walks into a car rental place. She needs to, wherever she may roam, she needs a car to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no public transportation. This is America.
It's America, for fuck's sakes. You might have a little bit of bus travel in California, a little bit, but this is also.
Well, of course they do. Speed.
Oh my God! Of course they do. I was just gonna say I don't know what fucking
year
this is.
But the thing is, crime doesn't follow a bus schedule, Griff. She needs
is
to
that
be
the tagline for Speed.
Yeah, she needs to be able to kill at will anytime she can.
Yeah.
So she can't be, even though Paul Kersey used the bus in L.A. in Death Wish 2.
Yeah, he did.
Well, she's not as sophisticated as Paul Kersey.
No, she really isn't.
She needs a car, and apparently she must be 26, Griff, because then she has to be 26 to rent a car.
Shit, you have to be like 25 or 26. Yeah, I think that's true.
So the guy, the car rental guy, worked on the movie. John S. Rad was like, "You're perfect for this role." In fact, I don't want to pay anybody either, but you're perfect. So he gave this guy the role, and he was perfect.
He smiled.
He said, "Here's your keys.
I just need you to sign these forms." And she's like, "I love consent forms."
All right, now it gets weird. Officer
Now
Bay.
it gets weird?
Yes.
After the fucking stash scene, now it gets weird.
Yes, because this must be the record for quickest sex scene ever in the history of movies. We talk about how Danzig stretches scenes out, not John S. Redd. He's got a lot to tell and a minimum of time to do it.
So
there's too much story. There was no story in Death Rider.
Yeah.
Too much story.
Oh,
in
yeah,
this one.
yeah.
There's 2 stories.
When Murray, told me there was so much music, I finished the movie. I texted him, "Oh my God, Danzig needs to collaborate with John S. Rad. John can do the music, punch up the script," and then Murray told me, "I'm sorry, John S. Rad is dead."
That doesn't mean that Danzig, it's probably a public domain movie by now, Danzig could get the music and use it.
He could.
Put a little goth synth on top of that.
I listened to that synth record Danzig did.
Black Aria?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not bad.
Oh.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like fucking recommendable.
It
but
beats Total Silence.
It beats Total Silence.
Yeah.
It could have been an ominous track in the background of so many scenes.
All right, so Officer Babe is on the phone with his girlfriend. This is to show how committed he is to his job as a cop.
Right.
She's like in like some lingerie at home, like I'm laying on the bed.
Right.
And she's like, "Babe, when are you coming home?"
It's my vacation. We have not seen each other once. I thought we were going to spend this whole time together. Give me one day. Please, give me one day.
I can't. I'm on this case.
Don't you understand? I'm a cop. My hours are all over the place. I could be here or there.
And then she's, and like hangs up, and then dramatically like falls on the bed.
And starts pounding her fist into the mattress, pouting.
And then immediately a cut to them fucking on the bed. Horrible body on this woman, by the way, but I guess she would get naked, so they're like, okay. And it's like literally 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You just see him on top of her, got that music, and then we cut away.
Did you notice? No sheets on that bed.
What's he saying about that? Because remember,
I
the
don't
first
know.
scene, the woman is lying on top of the sheets.
You're right.
And now because they didn't want to stain the sheets? I don't know what that is.
Is it the aspect of a fulfilling relationship, a successful relationship's always on the sheets?
I think there's no sheets because they're going to do anal. They don't want to get...
That's even worse. You can put sheets in the wash, Murray.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying that's...
Hey, love doesn't make sense.
Back to Mina. She's out, Paul Kersey's out prowling the streets, and she finds a prostitute. And we're like, oh my God, is she going to become a killer now?
Right.
Prostitute, first of all, great acting with this prostitute
Yes.
character.
10 out of 10. Heart of gold. Love this character.
Takes her to a hotel room. I think she's in this...
Mina's living in this hotel room.
Yeah, I think it's the same like hotel room that Paul Kersey had. Remember, he had that like room where he kept his guns.
Yes,
it was like 25 cents a day or some shit.
You're dead on.
Probably the same flop house. Right down the first floor is the fucking church. You know,
they're gonna talk shop after. Every night they actually have a whiskey and talk. You know what? That's gonna be the first Golan-Globus production movie, Merman production movie. Is Paul Kersey meeting this woman and they talk about killing people.
So the prostitute, she's like, "All right, you want me to go down on you? You want to go down on me?"
She's already got her top off.
Water
by the way.
sports. What are you into?
And oh my God, this is Mina at her peak. Jerry said, "What? No! What? Why would you believe that? I was just gonna pour you a bowl of cereal and talk to you about Superman."
I want to pick your mind. What made you become a prostitute? What do you fear?
And she's like, oh, you mean this isn't... Wait, do you want me to eat your pussy? No, it's a misunderstanding.
Tell me what you fear. And then amazing scene. It's like a soliloquy out of Shakespeare. She like goes off. The lights get dark. There's just a spotlight on the prostitute.
That's right.
And she's like, what do I fear?
Star Trek.
What do I fear?
Star Trek lighting, everybody.
Everything. The risks. The drugs. The dangerous men. Everywhere. Everybody. And everything. I could die at any moment.
And yet she's completely relaxed in this scene, even though she just told us every scene is a threat to me.
Because Mina put her at ease, because she's not a dangerous man. She's a non-dangerous woman.
Right. Okay.
And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll let you pick my brain. It'll cost you, but...
Apparently, we just kind of cut away from there, but she let, the hoe leaves. We learn everything from her, apparently. And Mina is just laying in bed and announces... I'm going to become a prostitute. Okay.
Hey, what's Officer Babe up to? Well, we quick cut and find out. He's reported they've searched Mina's place and they still have no leads. They saw that the toilet was missing. They said, we got nothing to go on.
Do-do-do.
Cut to Mina. Hot on the streets. She's got the fucking pea coat, the fucking stocking cap. And she is looking for some dangerous men. And I got to give it up to her. All these guys needed to die.
Yeah.
Just by the way they look. We get the fucking Da Bears guy first.
Yes.
Total douchebag, mustache, parted down the middle hair.
So this is great because we're used to when you say, I'm going to become a prostitute, prostitutes hang out on the streets and get picked up. And she said, fuck that. I am an entrepreneur of my own pussy.
Cut to the chase.
I'm going to go find them. So she's driving by a burger joint and spots.
So
the
we're basically
guy.
doing the Eileen Wuornos story. Why did Charlize Theron get an Oscar when clearly Mina, who did it first, should have got an Oscar?
Yeah. Mina deserved it.
You know why? Because when a pretty actors ugly themselves up for a role, people lose their mind. Go, that's the greatest acting I've ever seen.
Yes.
I would not fuck Charlize Theron.
Right. I usually
Here's
would.
an Oscar.
I usually would fuck her. But
I totally would fuck her.
I don't want to fuck her.
Not there. Oscar. Here you go.
I saw a lot of her leg and butt in that movie, and I was like, oh.
That's what irritated me about the Brendan Fraser thing. I'm sure he did a great job, but it's like he's in a fat suit. How about hiring a fat person who probably knows what it feels like to be a fat person and treated like a pariah and could probably give even a better performance?
Yeah.
No, it's gimmicky performance.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser, fat suit. Here's your Oscar.
Here's your Oscar.
So, yeah, I think Charlize Theron, if you're listening, I know you are. Fury Road, okay, wasn't that great?
Well, she heard that you and Taylor broke up, so of course she's going to be fucking, whispering us constantly. Oh, my God. These actresses.
Charlize, give your Oscar to whoever this woman who played Mina is.
Yeah, look her up.
You all
She's
were.
not credited in this movie.
And I know you probably got a preview copy of this somehow. Maybe you ran into
She might
maybe you auditioned for the role and John S. Red said you're not good enough for it.
That's what happened. And
you took this story to some other filmmaker. We figured it out.
She's got the only copy of that. The documentary I'm thinking of is called That's So John Rad.
Yeah.
She's the only one with a copy, and she's flirting the world. She's taunting us with it.
Teasing the world.
You're
a dangerous woman.
You're
you.
a dangerous woman, Charlize Theron.
So Mina kills a guy who, quite frankly, deserved it.
Right. We see she puts out the plastic sheet. She does kill room and everything. John tells us this whole tale in about 2 minutes. He does the lurking, the driving, the finding, the winking. Oh, you'd never wink at a woman through a fucking... When you're at if you're hanging out at a burger joint and you wink at a woman...
Then there was that one guy she picks up. Totally looked like a gay hustler. Like I guess she's equal opportunity.
Was that the one under?
He had like bleach blonde hair and he had short shorts.
It's like we couldn't see his face.
Yes,
though.
it was like this dark, creepy,
beautiful shot.
Yeah,
beautiful shot. John knows his shots.
So the next morning, she's still grief stricken over Dan. Is the no amount of killing is going to break this love she has. So she's on the beach. And she writes a love letter in the sand. My love, splendor of the moments with you are unforgettable.
And then we get...
That's for our Zoomers that listen, because you can't read cursive. It's written in cursive on the sand.
Is that actually what it said?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think it was legible at all.
So we're hearing the song. My love, splendors of the moment with you.
Hold on, let me get that. I'm gonna write that down. That's gonna be my next rib tattoo.
Splendor of the moment.
Splendor of the moment.
And dramatically, we see the water just wipe it away.
Right.
Perfect.
And then as the tide pulls back out, we go into a flashback of Mina's.
I'm gonna need a screenshot of this.
This monstrosity. I have been gifted many of things, and there's only one time I've been gifted something by a lover that I was just like, oh no. Because
what was it?
Murray, you remember, you know me, I love my jewelry. I wear jewelry constantly.
Yeah, constantly, yeah.
Constantly.
I call you the Mr. T of the
And
show,
I've had a discussion. I had a discussion with this lady friend of mine about how I don't wear jewelry and I don't want jewelry.
I was just thinking the other day, like, what kind of guys, like, I'm going to go out and get a gold chain.
Yeah,
like,
you were saying that. Yeah, you said that to me.
What's the mindset of that?
Yeah.
Like, I've never wanted. I mean, like, watch is the closest thing to jewelry I've ever worn.
So,
well, of course, you got the hoops.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I always think about that, but then it's like, I'm a few years away from 40. I don't think I need a Shabani this thing.
It's tragic.
Yeah. And so, oh yeah,
it's like when Harrison Ford got his ear pierced at like 60.
Yeah, it's just kind
of. My dad did that when he was like 50 or something.
So I'm not.
Yeah,
every once in a while, I think about it just as the laugh of like, remember when I used to have it? But yeah, I'm not feeling it. I've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. Anyways, peak of this relationship and everything. We're feeling good about all of it. We go out. She's like, oh my God, I got you something so good. I can't wait to give it to you. It's this fucking large ass gaudy ring. And it's not just like a band or anything silly. Like it was fucking huge.
What was it? Was it just like what did it look like?
Chunky? Yeah. So it was just chunky. It was like silver, and then it had like gold kind of band parts like on the outside of it.
Very pricey. Wow.
No, it was some cheap ass ring.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't.
How old were you at the time?
It was like
teenagers?
21, 22.
Okay. All right.
And so it was. She like took my hand and popped it on there, and then I was just like, oh, cool. What do you want me to do with this?
Wow, you're even a douche back then. You couldn't have just been, hey, thanks, and then played it off. Like you always. I don't know what happened to it. You could just pull that shit. You don't got to be like, this shit.
I'm socially fucking retarded.
Yeah, you are.
And excuse me for using that strong language, but
not strong. Yeah.
I am not good in these situations. I fail
Learn how to fake
every
it.
single time.
Fake
Single time.
Fake it until you make it.
So,
okay, that's nice to know. So, but this is even worse because she made.
That's right. That's the scene we're on.
It's like driftwood art. She took seashells and made owls.
Yes, with giant glue-on googly eyes.
Yeah,
they look like Murray. You may remember, we're big fans of the old Quiznos commercials.
You know what? I just told Aubrey, she was saying how Matford wants us to cover Dune. I said, well, you're in luck because we did Dune 2 years ago. That was when we learned about the Quiznos Hezarad.
That's right.
And the balsamic vinegar empire that our Conans had. Check that out. That's a great episode. It's on YouTube and on our SoundCloud or any podcast app under Golan-Globus.
That's right.
Yeah, it was Quiznonian, and he did a great job of selling it. Like, oh my God, this is beautiful. He non-grifted it. That is a complete. Those are the moments I slipped from grift to biff, and I biffed that. I did not griff that. So, okay, she gets back in her car, and she drives away, and crazy woman driver ran out of gas.
That I've heard people I know in my life who have run out of gas, and they're like, "Yeah, I just didn't notice."
I've never had that happen to me ever.
Never once.
No.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I guess I got to hitch it.
And, she's been working the night, so she knows how to hitch.
Yeah, and well, we know how dangerous this road is. The last time she was there, her boyfriend was murdered on this beach.
Was she at the beach?
Yeah,
that the murder happened.
I'm assuming, yeah.
She just keeps going back to the place.
That's why she was writing, "My love, splendor of the moments with you."
I don't know how you're getting the spotlight in my room. There's no spotlight for you.
It's just, I'm Tim S. Rad.
It's incredible.
So she gets picked up by a guy, and he seems cool. How's he driving?
Jaguar.
So he's got to be cool.
Jaguar. He's a
Why wasn't the British guy driving a Jaguar?
I know, right?
And he driving the truck.
That would make more sense. Because he's wearing a T-shirt with the sleeves rolled up because he's a thick boy. He's got some big arms on him.
He's got the cigarette pack rolled up in the sleeve.
Right. But he's charming. Oh, hey, are you in trouble? I'm out of gas. Well, let me take you to the gas station. But we know how dangerous men are.
He immediately drives a mile, pulls off the road. She's like, "Where are you going?" "Look here, lady. I'm going to rape you, and you're going to enjoy it. That's what you get for being so hot." And she's like, "No."
So they keep going. They get further off the road. And then she goes, "Are you sure you want to do this?" "I am sure. I consent to raping you." And she goes, "Okay."
Pulls out that gun. Boom. Shoots his ass. And then she pushes the car off a cliff. I want to give it up to John S. Rad. Pushed a real car. Oh, by the way, this was John S. Rad's daughter's car because apparently she was dating a dangerous man that he did not approve of, so he took it away from her, and she didn't find out till she saw this movie. Oh, that's what happened to my shitty Datsun, because of course they changed the cars. They did not throw a Jag off the fucking and then seamless edit where we got a stock footage explosion with total like scratches in it and shit.
God. It was such a terrible explosion.
And this is what I love about it. They just left the car there. They're not in a real movie they would also take it away. Obviously, They're just like, fuck it, we're done.
Man, if maybe that's part of the reason why it took him fucking 20 years to put this out. He was like, okay, I gotta wait till the what's the phrase?
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations runs out on me littering and blowing up a car.
So now she's like, all men are dangerous. So she is on a murder spree, just picking up men left and right and killing them.
This was your silhouette, man. We get a fucking Paul Kersey looking motherfucker. We get a priest. He's saying everything about everything.
Right. Great theater of the mind where we're just seeing a silhouette of her stabbing people.
Yes. Constant cast of people changing. They're on their knees.
Very diverse group.
Yeah. Licking her belly button.
The only thing they have in common is they have penises. That's it.
That's it. And we don't even know for sure because we don't see all the penises,
right.
Murray.
And we don't ask.
Let's just go ahead and put that out there. There could have been some, people identify as male but weren't male.
All right. So now David calls in Chief Davis, a very brand new character, elderly man, well past retirement age.
Trying to go for his Stan Lee look or something?
Yes, is exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
He looked like Stan Lee in cowboy garb.
Yeah.
And David's like, hey, are there any leads or anything? I need to get involved with this case. We need to find Mina. You're too close.
So John did not know how to do this audio because he wanted to have David on the other end of the phone talking to Chief, of course.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Chief, sit here on my thumbs?
Sit on my thumbs and wiggle my toes.
Wiggle my toes? Lick a belly button? Tickle some knees?
Chief just hangs up on him. You're too close.
Chief would have been like, yes, go out and tickle some knees. Lick some belly buttons. Get that dick off.
So, all right. Now Mina, she's still in that Flophouse Hotel watching the TV, and we get a new story. They're finally on to her. They're not onto her. They're just onto these killings.
That end scene, that was his lingering shot, though. Because
Yeah.
after the chief hangs up, we just sit in the chief's office, and he finds some sunglasses and pops them on.
I wonder. I didn't look it up. I wonder if that actor was like somebody who was like big in like the 40s or something. Because that's what Amir Shervan would do. He would get like Jim Brown or
Yes.
somebody who's kind of washed up.
That's a good
So
call.
so maybe he was like a guy that was like big, like 50 years previously.
I am candy, and I am bubbly, like champagne. Yes, you are.
That's Killing American Style for
People.
Go check that
Killing
out.
American Style.
Another misunderstood genius.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so Mina's like, shit, they're getting closer every day. I need to kill more.
Yeah, the newscaster says, the suspect is expected to be a woman at this point, picking up men. Okay. Yeah, that's getting pretty close.
And great acting and it looked like totally like a real news. It was like
I was like, is that the Iranian flag in the background? Is this propaganda TV she gets over rabbit ears?
all right, Officer Babe finally has some news for David. They found the motel owner and he ID'd Mina as the woman who killed Tiger.
Right.
Or she was with Tiger. We don't know if she killed Tiger.
Right, exactly.
And David's like, if she killed him, it was obviously self-defense.
It had to be. There's no way. I'm going to have to continue this vacation a lot longer.
How long? What was the time? How many? Has she been killing like guys every fucking hour?
Dude, this is where John is playing with time here a little bit because we know he already had a week off and then he was going to take another week off to hang out with his brother and help him plan his wedding. At this point, we have to be like 4 months into this movie because Nina has moved 10 minutes away into a hotel, started murdering people, and she's gone through at least a dozen. And it's like, did it take her a week? Was she doing this 3 times a day?
So, I mean, the world's full of dangerous men. There's no shortage of that. So
Right.
she could have technically in a week killed a dozen men.
Right. She may have been, assaulted twice in the same day.
Yeah, it happens.
Like,
There's actually a Fred Williamson movie, which we probably do in the future, where a woman gets attacked, not assaulted, sexually attacked, and Fred Williamson saves her twice in 5 minutes.
oh my God.
Maybe that'll be Black Exploitation History Month. Look for it. Okay, so
Chief tells David before he hangs
Babe
up on him
tells
again.
David.
Or Babe, excuse me. You're too close to this fucking thing. Do not go out chasing trouble. Do not go out chasing biker falls.
don't fuck with those bikers, Dave. Tiger's dead. It's case closed. Like
Right.
I don't like what she's not going after bikers. She's just killing random guys. This is where the movie transitions from Mina's story to David's story.
Right. Mina is now like a D-level character in this movie, her movie. And
She's
it's
only
not
seen
about
one
David.
more time in the rest of the movie.
Right.
And it's a very quick scene.
Very quick. So David knows that Mina was seen with a biker, so now he's got to go visit a biker bar. And oh my God, you know what? The only thing worse than having silence in your busy bar full of people, rough
There was
people-
more shit happening in this bar than the House of Vampires
Yeah,
bar.
100%.
Yeah.
There's. Oh my God. Anyways, Murray. Before I get sidetracked, we're seeing the lineup. We're scanning this crowd. You got Confederate
The
flags.
first scene we get, we see a lineup of bicycles outside.
Yes,
Motorcycles.
motorcycles.
And then we go in. And this is the classiest biker bar I've ever seen.
Right.
Beautiful piano bar music.
Beautiful piano bar music. Leather daddies everywhere. You got the fucking Confederate bandana.
Great casting, though. These guys look like genuine bikers.
They
Big,
did.
fat, sloppy guys.
Yes, they did. You got the one guy who they keep cutting to who will learn is Dutch. A bald guy who's in a booth sometimes. Sometimes he's in the middle of the room and at a table. Just depends. Tattooed. He's got a head tattoo.
He's got it's obviously the rub-on ones you get as a kid. He's got a little eagle on his forehead.
Yeah.
And then something on the sides of his head.
Right. And then we see they've got a bartender, and the bartenders have to dress up. The bartender's wearing...
You know who took over this? Fucking Patrick Swayze.
Oh my
he
God!
came in and cleaned this bar
He
up.
bounced it. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
that makes perfect fucking.
This
sense.
probably was like a sleazy, grimy biker bar, and he cleaned it up.
What is? You know what?
And then he moved on.
YouTube. Oh my God, YouTube. This was supposed to be a top half segment. I was trying to find out more information about bed sitting room, and I did it. Like I was getting all the. Oh no, you got a ad block or whatever. So I had to turn it off. Some of the videos it was giving me for an acclaimed Criterion movie, pimple popping.
That makes sense.
What the fuck, YouTube? This is why no one wants to visit your website without an ad blocker. Pimple popping for a fucking feature film.
What kind of sickos? I mean, there's a fucking cable show about it's Dr. Pimple Popper.
What are we
What
doing?
sick person wants to watch that?
What are we
I
doing?
don't.
That's too niche. Keep that off. TV needs to get its resurgence, man. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody.
David rolls in.
David rolls in. He scans this crowd. He sees it's tough. Realizes he's going to have to pop his collar. Do something to really fucking make himself stand
Pop
out.
his ponies, which we'll see later on.
He notices that there's a perfect 6.5 woman out of 10.
Perfect casting. This is the total the woman I could imagine seeing playing darts in a biker bar.
1,000%.
Rough looking as fuck.
Yep.
Ass wasn't that bad, especially for an 80s ass.
Yes.
But yeah, she looked rough. She looked,
100%.
Perfect casting.
We're so used to
Because like fucking like we were just saying, Roadhouse would have like this fucking Playboy playmate, like hanging out at some shithole bar.
I was just gonna say, in a film like this with the story and the sets and everything, I'm so used to Amir Sivan and I got Playboy playmates. Instead, we've got this real
Andy Sedaris.
Andy Sedaris, excuse me. We got this real as fuck looking woman, and
She probably was. She probably worked at this bar that they were fucking.
Quite possibly, but yeah.
And so she's playing darts.
Electric darts.
Yes.
Classy.
Dutch and the sleazy bikers are noticing her.
Dutch especially. He's wringing his hands. Oh, look at that tang. We were still calling pussy tang back then.
And
David takes a seat at the far end of the bar.
Right.
And he's already got one beer, which he's drank a quarter of. He's going full Ginty in this scene, and I hate it. Barely sipped on this beer. Yeah, I'll take another one. Slaps another 100. Sir, this is $200. What do you want?
Yeah, you're paying $200 for this beer. It's got silver powder laced in it, though. That's why it's $200, Griff.
That could be it.
And he's like, "You want some information, don't you?" Yeah, I'm looking for some guy named Tiger. And he's like, "Well, you didn't hear from me, but Lou." By the way, we never meet Lou. We don't. Only thing we learn about Lou is he has a son who's even a bigger bastard than Lou. And Lou's a badass. Goes by the name Black Pepper.
What just happened? He shows him the picture of Scooter.
Yeah.
And that turns into, oh, Lou? No, Lou's intense, but Black Pepper, what?
He's killed more men than the Nam War, according to this bartender. So they cut back. The bikers are ogling the fucking woman playing darts. And Dutch is like, "I got to get me some of that."
So he gets up, "Let me show you how to do it, babe." And he's grabbing some cakes. And
No, stop, because she's some foreign woman. She had an accent.
Yes, she did, yeah.
"Stop that. Get away from me." And then she throws him off and then calmly walks to the back of the bar.
Right,
Walks outside of...
I thought it was the bathroom or...
No, it's a back door, apparently.
Yeah.
This is like the most upscale biker bar. It's literally on the beach.
It's literally on the beach.
Opens the door and she's on the beach.
Right. Because we're about to get a quick transition to her outside in a bikini that is...
It's a thong.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She's frolicking in the surf. And, okay, so that's it. We cut back to Dave. And he's like, "How can I find this Black Pepper guy?" And he's like, "We see that biker there that's about to rape that woman? He'll let you know."
He's a dangerous man.
So the bartender, he's like, "By the way, stranger, what's your name?" "Well, you can call me Clay." "I think I'll call you Clay Cuckoo."
I wonder if John, when he
Yes.
wrote that line,
He's cracking
did he
up.
fall over in his chair?
And he probably made that guy take 20 takes on it. Like, you're not saying cuckoo right. It's
Yeah.
cuckoo. Cuckoo. And he's like, cuckoo. No, cuckoo. What are you, stupid? Are you cuckoo? It's goo. And they did like a day. They filmed that line.
Murray, we're upset because some characters that have multiple lines in this movie don't have a name. And then as David leaves, another biker, completely different from our other bikers.
Who looks like David and Dan and the robber in the first fucking scene.
Yes.
And the rapist in the first, or the non-rapist in the first scene.
He's younger. He's not in his mid-50s, 60s. He doesn't fit this biker crew at all.
He's a weekend biker.
Yes. Yeah. He takes the bartender by the lapels and is like, who the fuck was that guy? I smell cop all over his ass.
All right.
My name's Paul, by the way. Why does he... I'm not kidding you. He announces he's Paul. Why does he have a name?
I don't know.
Just the actor taking liberties? Yeah. I want people to know my name.
Yeah. This is like for a sizzle reel. Okay. Maybe it was Paul London's dad. I don't know.
Oh my God, we know Paul's a great actor.
Right. So David walks out the back door. He's seeing the girl frolicking in the water.
At this point, David gets out there, and Dutch already has the woman. So he hears her crying out, "Oh yeah, help me!
Help me! Get off of me, you bad, dangerous man!" And then David gives him a few karate chops, and then puts him in this strange, like, submission hold. Where so the Dutch is on his stomach on the ground.
Yes.
David puts one hand underneath his jaw and the other one, like, on the side of his head, like you're going to twist someone's neck and break it.
Yes.
But apparently that's like a sleeper hold.
Apparently, I don't know if...
Because I thought he killed Dutch, because Dutch does pass out.
What do we know about this interaction? He wants to get information out of Dutch. So you're thinking he's going to put him in some kind of hold, get some kind of information out of him. No. David's whole concern is getting Sharon, as we'll learn her name is, away from the situation. So he puts him in this hold, and like you said...
Meanwhile, Sharon, completely dressed now. Like, she was wearing a bikini.
It looked like she just threw like a little fucking sundress on. It wasn't like she was wearing, I don't know, a whole outfit. It looked like she just put a dress over. But anyways, you're right. Yeah. That happens. She is not reacting at all.
She loves it. She's like watching
it. Fighting happening, and she's just like, oh, fucking cool. Maybe this guy wants to fuck me.
He knocks out Dutch. She comes up. Hello, my name is Sharon. Can I have a ride?
Yes, Sharon.
Hop in, Sharon. So, all right. A few minutes later, fat biker friend comes out. Hey, Dutch, where the fuck are you, man? You fucked that bitch. And Dutch is coming too, and he's like, "Oh man, we got to get that guy."
All right, and then because we got to have lots of quick cuts in here, we got a lot of stories, a lot of weaving stories. Yeah. Officer Babe calls up Chief, tells him that David definitely getting involved with this Mina case, his brother's case, Mina's case. His stink is everywhere. What does Davis do? Captain Davis? God, David. Captain Stanley Davis, well, he's a cop. Can't expect him not to do it.
There's no chance of tailing him. And like, Babe's like, no, don't worry. We put radar on his car and his gun holster.
Oh, that was the explanation.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I was too busy laughing at the last scene to notice that line. God, John covers all of his bases. Yes. He's too smart. You can't tail him in person.
Most people would just put it on the car. No, and the gun holster.
Think about the radars they would have, any kind of device they'd have back in this
be bigger than the gun.
Exactly.
All right, so Dutch is... We cut to, I guess a few days later. Dutch and his crew are just driving down the road.
I thought it was the same day.
No, I think it's supposed to be
later. Even David has a wardrobe change, so it's gotta be some other day, right?
Yeah. They're driving by, and Sharon is on her car. It's supposed to look like it's like maybe she ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. She's wearing booty shorts.
She's posting up like a fucking, oh my God, pinup.
Yeah, she's got heels and booty shorts on, and she's showing it out.
She's got the little country, the little shirt tied up or bosoms out.
So
and everything.
Dutch is like, hey, look at that. I'm going to go take me a piece of that.
He sends his crew along because, they're 12 bikers deep, and he's like, I'm going to be one fucking dick deep in this woman.
Dave hiding in the backseat of the car.
In his pony shoes.
His ponies. They still make ponies.
I don't think they do.
This is the 80s section of the fucking
Maybe
movie.
John thought he was going to get some fucking royalties because of the pony shots, but he was zooming. He was lingering. He was dancing.
Well, he had to because, as we'll get into later,
Yes.
but Dutch stops. Hey, you, I'm going to rape you. So he grabs her and takes her off the side of the road.
He just picks her up and walks off.
Stop!
With her.
Don't do that. She's like totally awful acting.
Right. You are being a very dangerous man.
I want to point out. All right, we said that Dutch has an eagle tattoo on his forehead. Throughout the scene, it switches from an eagle to like a blob. I don't know if it was like to be a Chinese dragon.
It's just like wiped off. Yeah.
No, it was a totally different one. It was even wiped off because it was a different shape. It just keeps going. I mean, it must probably the scene because there's a fight scene, so it probably took about 2 to 3 weeks to film.
Yeah.
So I get it, but a little. I mean, I guess John S. Rad did not do continuity on this film.
No, we don't need continuity. Where we're going, we don't need continuity.
So yeah, so he is like about to rape this girl, and then we see those goddamn giant 80s ponies. They get stuck in the back between like the back of the seat and the cushion. His foot gets stuck so bad.
He's been hiding back there in his motorcycle helmet for some reason. He's got a motorcycle helmet on. But also very tense, very grotesque scene. Boop, 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 boop. That's the music to the cries of Sharon.
Well, it's called Theme for a Rape on the soundtrack, so it makes sense. But yeah, so she's struggling. He's struggling with his ponies. They're so the tennis shoes were so big in the 80s, Griff. They would get lodged sometimes in your car seat.
Not as big as Black Pepper's fucking pumps. Dude.
So he eventually, how about I take your foot out of the shoe if it's that bad? But he yanks his foot out finally. Dutch sees him, pulls out a gun, shoots him point blank in the chest.
Right.
He blows it off.
Right. I was just like, wait a minute. What just happened in this movie? He's a Terminator now.
He kicks the fucking gun away. Dutch goes for a knife.
No.
Dutch throws the gun away.
Throws the gun away because he had 2 bullets in it. He didn't count. Throws it away. Goes for his knife. And then we get the close-up of a pony knife out of his hand. And you're like,
fresh white ponies.
We've never really seen if David had moves or not, have we?
No.
And so, I mean, we know he broke up that one liquor store robbery.
Yeah, but he shot people.
He shot a guy and then just grabbed the other guy. So we're about to see his karate chops here. He ain't got none.
No.
Oh, you know what? We saw him accost Dutch.
Yeah, he beats Dutch up, but later on.
That was a cheap shot on Dutch in the first scene on the beach. Because Dutch didn't know. He was too busy trying to assault. So, yeah.
So he kicks the knife away, but Dutch gets the best of him in the beginning of the fight. And Sharon's just watching, as always, just calmly.
Do, 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 do.
But Dutch, he's got that fucking chin lock.
Yep.
And he cinches the iron claw.
He
cinches it on.
John does not even, build up to that moment. David is getting his ass handed to him, hammered on the ground. And then you cut over to Sharon. Do, 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 do. Cut back to David, who now has Dutch pinned down in the headlock again. It's like, wait, what happened in this fight?
He's got the iron claw on.
Yep.
And it works. It knocks him out again. And he handcuffs him and ties his feet together. And then Sharon, like I said, seamless. Because we're like, he got shot. And Sharon's like, good thing you wore that bulletproof vest. Yeah.
And you notice as she says that, she's getting in there. She's fingering the bullet holes. And it's like, oh, man.
And then he's like, you know what? Why don't you go put on some decent clothes?
Go put on some decent clothes.
So this is where we get the scene where she's putting on a show for not only us, but David as well.
I even saw Dutch a couple times peek out the side eye there.
She bends over, slowly peels off those Daisy Dukes.
The shimmy slide, as I was talking about.
That's where the shimmy is. She
shimmied and slid them off.
Got the thong on. She slowly puts on her fucking mom jeans that go up to her fucking tits. And that's it.
All throughout this scene, by the way, David is tying up Dutch, but even though he shooed her away, he can't resist it. He's taking peeks. Yeah, and so we watch him look over, and then John is like, here's what he's looking at.
It's like a sweet piece of cake.
Bent over, clearly trying to, lure him in.
Seduce him. Yeah, I think this, between when he met her and now, it's been another 4 months, because I think they're in a committed relationship. And this is a little role play they're doing.
Yeah, okay.
So he throws Dutch in the back seat of his car. And it's like, hey, babe, I'll see you later.
I'm going to drop you off at your car. And so she's leaving, and she's like, oh, you're going to see me later? I'll be dressed. I'll be ready.
All right, so now Dave is aimlessly driving, and he's just like, where is Black Pepper? What does Black Pepper have to do with anything? All we know is he's killed more men than Nam, but he has nothing to do at all. There's no connection between him. There's no connection with Tiger and this gang, for all we know.
Right.
What is Black Pepper doing?
And we've been sold on Black Pepper as being the most treacherous motherfucker out there. He'll twist your testicles around your neck and strangle you. You know what that is? The Argentinian bow tie. It's not a Colombian bow tie.
No, it's totally different.
It's totally different.
Pull your balls through your throat.
Yeah, the balls go up, around, and then stuff down. So you actually choke out on your own testicles. It can only happen if your stash is aged, though, because apparently your balls...
So Black Pepper's like, I'll gladly take you to Black Pepper because he's going to fuck you up, copper.
Take a left here, and then a right at the Taco Bell. Can we stop and get some cinnamon twists?
Cut 2. The police have finally pinned all these crimes on Mina. Mina, this is Mina's back. It's her story as well.
Right. You probably forgot about Mina because we haven't talked about her. We've been talking about David and Sharon. No, Mina is where the story started.
So they put out an APB on her. They find her. They're tailing her. It's easy because she's out on city streets on a sidewalk, walking barefoot, holding her shoes in her hands.
So bizarre. We got helicopters.
We get some stock footage of helicopter.
Yeah, we got vehicles. It's at all points bulleted. Everybody is on the... I mean, she is a serial killer, so it does make a little bit of sense. But yeah, she's just walking around town. We got 2 fat, plain...
Great fucking post audio on this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Is that her over there? I think it is.
I believe it is.
It's all John S. fucking Rand doing the same voice.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
And they arrest her. End of Mina's story, people. We never see Mina again. She's going to jail for the rest of her life. All right. Back to David. Finally get to Black Pepper's place.
Right. And we arrive at the place. He's parked outside like a mile away from the house. They don't have a shot where you see his car in relation to this house. So
Black Pepper, of course, the heir to the Dr. Pepper fortune.
Of course.
So he's living in a mansion.
Of course. I mean, he's Lou's son, so is it Lou Pepper?
Yeah. Well, we call him Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's first name is Lou. Okay. Fun fact. So we head inside, and we see our man. This guy screams dangerous man.
Oh, my God. He looks like he could have been an 80s wrestler.
I think he was going for that look. All right. We're going from the bottom to the top. Fresh white Reeboks. Giant as fuck. Clown shoe level.
Right.
Black sweatpants.
Oh, yeah.
Black tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Got the fucking wraparound douchebag shades. This guy owns a F-150, definitely. Did he have a
headband?
Headband? I don't know if he had a head. Yeah, he must have had a headband.
I think he had a headband.
I'm thinking, did he have a headband or did he have the fucking bandana on?
I don't think he had the sunglasses on yet. I thought he had the
I thought he always had the sunglasses. I don't think he ever took them off.
I can't remember.
I think he had sunglasses.
I think maybe only when he was fucking his girlfriend in a minute here that he had the sunglasses off.
Long, stringy blonde hair.
Kind of wavy.
Kind of wig? I can't tell. It might have been a wig.
Kind of wiggy.
He's chilling. His sexy Middle Eastern girlfriend comes in, sits in his lap.
She's wearing athletic shorts of the time, so they're not tight. They're like the old school. I wear them as sleep shorts nowadays, and they're hanging off her. There's nothing clinging or sexy about this. It's It's actually kind of
And she had-
comforting and romantic.
Yeah. She had like a baseball jersey. on,
Yeah,
too,
she had
didn't
like a button-up kind of baseball shirt, and she's got 2 highball glasses with some kind of liquor in them, and she starts doing like a little dance for him.
No, she just sits in his lap.
She did like a little thing. She did a little thing. It was not what we're about to see, Murray, but she
Okay.
did do like a little thing, and then she got in his lap.
And then they're like, hey, Rima, wherever that girl's name is, a belly dancer comes out of nowhere. Well, we get a great shot.
Ruby.
We cut away to like a Middle Eastern like painting.
Yes.
And then we cut back.
The music completely changes.
Yeah, it's like Middle Eastern music,
Yes.
which you need if you're going to belly dance. And then we get like a fucking 3-minute scene of this woman belly dancing. Apparently, I'm assuming like her father put up some money, and they're like, my daughter has to be in this movie. She's a great belly dancer.
Right.
She won't get naked. Don't you dare try to get her naked, John. That's rad.
I know you can get any woman naked.
And he's like, all right, she can have a belly dancing scene. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Why is there a belly dancing scene in this? Or maybe he's just proud of his fucking Middle Eastern heritage. I don't know.
Who knows?
But she does a good job. Ruby does a good job. Of
Ruby
belly
does a good
dancing.
job.
So good that it arouses the fuck out of Black Pepper.
Oh my God.
His pepper gets fucking aroused.
Yeah, his pepper tree is hard. Unlike the real pepper tree, which is very soft wood, his wood is hard as fuck. And he's ready to shake those pepper bells all over his lady. So he gets up. While in transition, for some reason in post, John added in what's supposed to be his girlfriend, Black Pepper's girlfriend, going, wow. There's just a random wow shot into the ether in this scene. It's so fucking bizarre. It caught me off guard.
And then there's a post, thanks, Ruby. We'll see you at the restaurant later or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
And then they go to bed because they got to fuck. They're hot as shit from seeing this belly dancing.
Right. And what is Black Pepper's move?
Why is it belly dancing, Griff? Because the belly button's the most erotic part
Oh my
of the
God.
body.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I've never seen live belly dancing. Is this what happens to you? You're like, I need to lick that belly button.
It's a big fetish in the Middle Eastern community. That's why they do belly dancing.
Oh.
So that's why people like, in John Rad's world, dangerous men love licking belly buttons.
You know what? I should have put that together. But hey, guys, now that if you listen to this before you watch the movie, now you know.
Okay, so Black Pepper, drug lord, crime lord. We don't know what, because we don't even know if this guy's a criminal.
Right.
Sleeps on a single bed. It's like a fucking single twin bed.
Single bed, tiny room. The bed takes up your room, the whole room. It is your childhood
I bet
bedroom.
you Amir Shervan did some scouting for this for him. Like, I got the perfect place for you. Is there a horse ranch outside?
You're not wrong about
Yeah.
that. But you know what? Also, if you're supposed to be some heinous drug lord, you need to have the coke scene. You need to have like the drug abuse scene. He seems like a very understanding, sensual lover.
Well, he loves those knees.
He's tickling.
Yes.
He's kissing.
He's got his head between her legs. She's lying down. She's
Yeah.
wearing like bra and panties. He's kissing her knees.
Kissing the knees, kissing the thighs, which makes sense. Kissing the shins, which, I mean, maybe once when you're like going up or going down, but like focusing shin, knee, thigh, like just, it was very straight. But yeah, then it would also be a little bit of the old belly button boxing going on there. Just beatboxing.
She is doing the thing you do with like a little baby.
Yeah, raspberries is what
Yeah.
you call that,
Yeah.
right?
And she's loving it.
Oh, my
Ooh,
God.
Just like that, baby.
Oh my God. She's going bananas.
All right, so David arrives at the compound, gun at the ready, immediately set upon by all of Black Pepper's goons. Right. But immediately, the goons are set upon our cops because of the fucking gun holster radar detector.
Right.
So we got Officer Babe, we got Chief Stan Lee, and we got some random cops.
Right.
So they apprehend all of the goons. Black Pepper he's unprotected now.
Right. So as he's, we know he's unprotected because we see his wang dang doodle and there's no condom on it. We don't see that. No. But we do have a guard break into his room. I'm sorry, sir. I know you're making love right now, but we must stop you because there's police everywhere.
What? So he's wearing his tighty whities, throws on his sweatpants, out the door. The girl stays. So now we get a scene, we get a tense scene. We get a cop we've never seen before, an Officer Babe in his sleeveless, acid wash
This is the
denim
shot
vest.
of him on the website.
Yeah. And he's doing a great job. He probably went to some police training to learn how to, you know.
I was telling you that he clearly like cut it out. This is the actual what he envisioned the box art for the movie was going to be. The fucking cop who has 5 minutes of screen time is on the cover of this movie.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
David is not on the cover. I think Black Pepper's on it.
Yeah, I think Black Pepper was, but David...
Who's only in it for literally 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. All over the place.
I think the chief is fucking on it, but David isn't.
Yeah,
because there's like a random, like I don't think she's even in the movie, like a half naked chick, like on it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well,
it might have been Pepper's girlfriend. I don't know.
It might. Yeah, I think it was.
It was not Mina. I know that much.
It wasn't.
So they bust into Black Pepper's room, and there's somebody hide underneath the sheets.
There's just the sheet. There's these two cops, a cop we haven't seen, and then Officer Babe, and they're both pulling guns on this sheet because there's nothing scarier than a sheet. And so they're like, please remove that sheet slowly.
She stands up. She's like, woo, I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
And like, you're not fooling us, lady.
Right.
That's not a white sheet. It's a fucking Scooby-Doo sheet.
Right. And
pulls it down, and it's not Black Pepper. It's girlfriend. And like,
right.
Where's Black Pepper? He's here. And she points to her heart.
That's right. It's beautiful. And so they're like, well, we can't apprehend this woman. She's naked. I mean, she's wearing her underwear, but she's naked. And then in the commotion of all of this...
Is that true? Can you get out of getting arrested by being naked?
No.
Because I've been arrested naked many times.
I was just going to say, we've all watched Cops once or twice. No. You could get arrested naked. So, you know what, girlfriend? Go get it, girlfriend. That's all I want to say. Because she's realizing, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down fighting. She throws a kick at Officer Babe's partner. And, it's not the greatest action. It's not the greatest delivered kick.
Well, she's sitting on a bed, for God's sakes.
It's pretty rough.
So they just cuff her, apprehend her. All right. Outside. Chief, I'm telling you, seamless. Chief goes, David, Mina's been arrested. So there. The stories come. Yeah, we got closure there. And then like, hey, is that Black Pepper? David runs after him. The cop, I was scared the cop's going to have a heart attack. Chief Davis. This is an elderly, frail as fuck looking man.
Seriously, when you've seen, what's his name? Stanley make his cameos in all the Marvel movies, he looks, weak and feeble.
Yeah, because he was 90.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Davis looks like, though.
David catches up with Black Pepper and gets the shit kicked out of him.
This was so amusing to me. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Because Black Pepper has been built up for 10 minutes now in this movie to be some kind of badass.
And he lived up to it.
And sure enough, he took David's balls out of his pants, wrapped them around his neck, and put them in his throat.
And by the way, that's the last we ever see of David for the rest of the movie.
You get Davis catching up.
David, not Davis.
Yeah, I know. I said you get Davis checking on David, removing the balls from his throat and unstrangling him.
Okay, but I'm just
checking
saying,
his pulse.
This is the most abrupt ending of a movie ever.
I couldn't believe that our quote-unquote hero, who, as you mentioned, is not even on the cover of the movie, has now been written off very much like Mina.
Yeah. Because this is why I'm thinking maybe this guy Davis was a star like back in the day because he gets the hero role.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the fight. I wanted to pipe in some of this audio because editing is tough. And as you know, as you mentioned at the top half, and it's worth repeating, it took John a very long time to put
10
this
years
movie.
of post.
Yeah. So I want you to hear how we amped up this fight between Black Pepper and David, the young David, the cop, the hero cop.
All right, so Chief pulls the balls out of David's mouth, calls in the chopper, and we see Black Pepper just aimlessly running around in these fields.
Right.
I was getting very Samurai Cop vibes.
Very Samurai Cop. Samurai Cop, yeah, you're dead on. It's just constant. There's moments in this run scene where you're like, is he reusing the footage from a minute ago? Because that feels like the very same hill he was just running up. Then he comes to Black Pepper, who's leading, the run, comes to some kind of rock formation.
It's like
and
a
he crawls
or something.
Yeah. He crawls under it and comes out the other side, and you're like, wait, David's out of this fight. So it's Davis, elderly man, who looks to be straining, just running.
Walking.
Yeah, walking. Has to get on his hands and knees and crawl under this rock formation now.
Chief is in pursuit. He follows him. And now we see BP finally finds a house to hide out in. He's looking in the window. And we see a beautiful woman sewing.
Yeah.
And I was like, she must be engrossed in a TV show or something, because she's literally just staring off into the distance. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And Black Pepper's like, that's interesting.
That's right. He sneaks in, and he's got a knife already, because he pulls one from her kitchen, and he's standing in like the entrance to this living room, whatever den that this woman is sewing in. And he's just like, what fucking look? And he's twisting the knife in the air. She goes, is there somebody there? And underneath whatever she's sewing
it's a
here,
quilt.
Little quilt, she's got a fucking Luger.
Yes, a
Jack
Luger.
Battleay would love this scene.
Yeah, and
this
he said, what a break, because he notices she's blind.
Yes.
Because she's just staring off at the wall. And so, yeah, she pulls out the gun, but she's blind, so she's blind as a bat, so she can't shoot Pepper. She's not Daredevil. She doesn't have those powers.
Right.
So he gets behind her and doom, 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 doom.
I will go ahead. I put it in the notes here. More new music. I know I haven't put that much music in here as I could have. If you watch this movie, you would hear all of it. But more new music for this fucking scene.
He grabs her from behind, throws her down. We get a nice little upskirt. We see she's wearing a thong, too. Chief walks in and just says, stop, you're under arrest. And that's it. The end. It literally just ends right there.
I can't remember if this is a continuation of the song I put in the notes or if there's a whole new song for the fucking credits. But yeah, stop right there. I got you. Black Pepper gives up. He doesn't go out.
We don't even know if he gives up. He's just like still holding that woman.
It ends like a sitcom on TV.
No, it ends like a Shaw Brothers movie, because every kung fu movie ends abruptly. Immediately as soon as they kill the bad guy, it just goes to the end. There's no epilogue or anything.
I mean, I brought it to the sitcom because.
And then I want to point out again, David, the star of the movie, police detective, played by yada yada yada.
I called it sitcom though, just because it freeze frames.
Yes, it does.
You see the credits crawl over that last scene of Davis getting the bus. It's like, what? This is what we got to after all this emotional journey.
Well, it just shows you how hard it is to make a movie. Like, I'm sure he didn't want to end it that way.
Yeah.
But who knows, whatever, he couldn't get the actors together. He ran out of film.
Right.
We don't know. He did the best he could with what he had.
Right.
And it was way more entertaining than the shit they make nowadays.
100%. You get a couple of the smart Alex on IMDb are like, I just watched the stupidest fucking movie. I'm going to go watch the new Ghostbusters to cleanse my palate. Cleans my palate.
Popeye all of a sudden. Cleans my palate.
But no, this is a guy, as we have said, who came to America.
With a dream.
And he was like, I'm going to make a fucking American movie here.
And he succeeded.
And yeah.
Because we're still talking about it 30 fucking 8 years, whatever, 30 years, 40 years later. It started in 84 is when he started.
There's something here to talk about. There's something here to be like, oh, fuck, is this what somebody who came to America in 84 saw? Is this how they saw the world of America? There's so many things to be taken away from this as opposed to, I don't know, a fucking shitty movie like Snowpiercer. I haven't talked about that one in a while. Fuck Snowpiercer.
This movie, much like most of the Mr. and Geniuses we do, proves that lack of a budget intensifies your creativity.
Oh, yeah. I just don't trust a movie with a huge budget. Look at all the fucking movies coming out nowadays. Huge budgets.
Right.
Even that fucking Godzilla movie, that had a small budget for a Godzilla movie. And that was one of the better where you just said, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
I didn't cry like some weirdos did, but yeah.
God, so
All right. So that there, John S. Rad, we acknowledge you. We praise you.
thank you so much.
It much like it just when we do these people like the heart, Rad.
Siobhan.
It just gnaws at me. No, Siobhan, he did 5 movies. I'm talking about guys who only they had one shot.
Oh, one shot. Okay, I'm sorry.
And they nailed it. And they weren't given opportunities to do more.
And they should have been.
They should have been.
Hollywood is supposed to be on the beat for these kinds of
They
things.
didn't suck in the right dick. Because John S. Rad's like, I have a vision and I will not compromise.
Well, John S. Rad knew about Dangerous Men, and he knew that Harvey Weinstein was a dangerous man.
I'm glad you brought that up because I believe that John S. Rad had the list of everybody associated with John Epstein.
John S. Epstein.
John S. Epstein, and he was murdered.
That's, you know what? That makes too much sense in today's times.
Yeah.
Why are people surprised by the names? We've known half the people who've come out from the list already.
Nothing's going to come of this at all. No, everyone's going to skate. Nobody's going to go to jail.
Right.
Because they're all in on it. You got Clinton and Trump. They're all buddies. I don't want to turn this into some like Joe Rogan type kind of like conspiracy thing, but everyone, they're all dangerous men.
They are all
Bring
dangerous
it
men.
back.
That's right.
All right, speaking of dangerous men, Griff, I had to call in a lot of favors for next week's episode because this movie isn't even available in America. I had to call up my European hookups. I don't know if I can say the name who gave it to me because he might be prosecuted.
Yeah, we got to do this. We had to do this very discreet. There was a handoff of a briefcase in a bathroom of an undisclosed area. Then it got shit out by a fucking Yorkie.
Yes.
Oh my God, the lengths we had to go through. So I hope this movie lives up to it.
We'll have fun. Okay, so most people know Michael Flatley simply as the Lord of the Dance, and you figure, all right, he's a master of dancing. That's all he can do. I beg to differ. Michael Flatley is a director. He is a writer. And he is an actor. And he puts them all on display next week for his spy drama, Blackbird. Most of you probably haven't even heard of this movie. I didn't until our friend Joe Corey brought it to my attention.
Was this 2018?
Movie was, made in 2018, sat on the shelf. It was finally released. I believe it's available in Europe last year. It's the first time it was made available.
Wow.
So you are in for a treat. Hey, we're exposing you to things you probably wouldn't be exposed to.
That's right.
That's what we do.
And if you need a little bit of help gathering this movie, if it strikes your fancy, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, maybe
We might be able to do something
Maybe
about
send a
that.
smoke signal, whisper in the mail Murray's way, and we might be able to get you a copy.
But not before you listen to us.
Wow, we're going to make them listen first before they can even
I
watch
think
the
you
movie?
I think you should because our numbers are down. I don't like that. So the least you can do is listen. How about this? Download it. Don't listen to it yet. Download it. Watch the movie and then listen to it. But I want to see those numbers. I don't want to see low numbers because this is a labor of love we're doing here. So us next week, Michael Flatley, Lord of the Cinema, Blackbird. Check it out. Keep it warm.